We live, people. Let's see. How long is the delay? Over here.
Wix gives you the power.
What's up, people? Let's see. Live, is the chat up? Oh yeah, we're live. All right, so the chat's up. Okay, awesome, fantastic. Grand opening, grand closing. There you go. Screen up in here. What's going on, people? What's up? We're doing it live. We are back. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to. Now, what's going on, people? Hey, welcome, my friends, my family, my fellow gamers. It's your only friend, these YouTube streets, Puerto77. Happy Juneteenth out here, right? So we out here. We're going to talk games and all that stuff. But, of course, we got to talk to the crew. We got to talk to the panel. We got J-Dub here. What's going on, my brother?
What's good, my brother? What's good? What's up, panel? What's up, chat? Y'all know what time it is.
All right, good. What's going on?
We're gonna do the show yesterday, but we ended up doing it today, right?
Yes, that's right. So yesterday I didn't do the show yesterday because we did a charity event with the church that we go to, and that was at 6 p.m. So that'll be 9 p.m. Eastern your time. So wasn't able to do the show, so we did that. So that's why I delayed it a day. So we did what's called Feed the Belly. They do it once a year. We feed the homeless, get food, and then we also make like peanut butter sandwiches and sandwich bags and all that for they could take to go. Yeah. So that's what we did over there. So we fed over 150 people. It was nice. It was good. It was nice. It was a nice turnout too. Man. It was a nice
salute to you. Salute to y'all. Doing the Lord's work.
That's it. Doing the Lord's work. You know what I'm saying?
Taking care of the community.
Gotta kill these bots and feed the hungry. You know what I'm saying? I'm a man.
Man of the people.
You know what I'm
saying? Man of the people.
A savior by day and vicious by night. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man!
Snap! But that's what we did, yeah. So it was good. It was a good time, man. I did it with me and the wife and stuff. So it was a good time and stuff, So what you doing, my brother? How's everything with you? Chat. How's the audio? The audio's good. Let us know. Audio's good and all that stuff. You know how Windows is. Windows 11 be on that bullshit.
Facts. Hopefully they can hear me. Everything's good, man. I got absolutely no complaints, man. No complaints. Just doing a little traveling for work. About to fly out next week to North Carolina, to Charlotte, North Carolina and stuff.
Ooh, man, that's about 4 hours where my house is at.
Oh, yeah?
Damn, yeah, but too bad I'm not out there, though. We would have linked up if I was still living there.
Definitely. And, July the 15th, I'm going to be out there in Cali.
You got to let me know, man.
My neck of the woods out in San Jose.
Where at?
The Bay Area. San Jose.
Oh, so it's way up north, like near San Fran and all that, right? Oh man, you gotta let me know when you're like in LA area or San Diego. If you ever, if you're in the LA, San Diego area, we gotta link up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely a couple of times a year I'm out there and
show them how we flex.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Facts, right? Good to hear, my brother. Thank you for showing up, man. And of course, we got the judge.
Yo, what's going on, everyone, man? Happy Juneteenth.
Yeah, happy Juneteenth, my brother. What's going on, man? How's everything with you?
Man, everything good. I'm a bit tired. Went down to downtown Philadelphia. They had the Juneteenth parade, and I had my two sons and my nephew with me today. So walking around in this hot ass weather, we in the middle of a heat wave.
Oh man!
But it was it was enjoyable. It was good. Got some free food because that's all that's important. Let me stop.
Gotta get that soul food in. Gotta get that good soul food.
I'm ready to talk to y'all, man. It feel like it's been a while, but I know it's only been since last week. I was actually pumped to do it yesterday. Before you said that, you had a charity event like that, I understand. Since I ain't had to go to work today, now it's like, oh shit, I gotta go to work tomorrow, and I gotta make sure I'm asleep by a certain time. But hey, man, everything that ends well is all good to me. So I'm good, man.
Yeah, I'm off. I ended up with a 3-day weekend, so I was off yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
Man, why
Juneteenth is beautiful.
Man, why you bragging?
You know what I'm saying? We truly celebrate Juneteenth at the federal level. We all about that.
Man,
I'm glad that was a parade. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it was a what was it like? Outside of Chinatown in Philadelphia. Matter of fact, the African American Museum of Philadelphia, like they had that whole portion cut off and stuff, which I was actually surprised about. But at the same time, normally stuff like this as well too. So that makes me wonder why I wasn't, why I wasn't broadcasted, through TV or through the radio.
Yeah. All right, man. That's pretty good. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves, man. I'm glad everybody enjoyed yourselves. For everybody else that's up in here in the channel, man, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We got some great topics to talk about. We're gonna kick it off, but hold on, let me make one final adjustment here. Boom, we're back. All right, so let's get to the first topic.
You know what topic I'm anxious to talk about.
So what is it? Is it the first one? Is it the E3?
It's the first one.
Yeah, the best showcase. So, yeah, man, there's a saltine going on around here. Like Xbox are. See, this is the problem with Xbox community, man. See, this is just another example. Like they just can't have, they just can't accept, overall. Let's say like if the overall opinion, the Xbox had the best showcase. No, that's not enough. They want everyone and every single entity to submit. Like every single one, like one person can't simply say, you know what, I felt this is better and stuff like that, right? So now there's a little battle contention of who actually had the best showcase between Nintendo and Xbox, right? And there's like a nice large group of Garreting and some industry pundits that they feel Nintendo, won the best showcase of the summer, for multiple reasons. One, Zelda. Obviously, if you show Zelda on the stage, that's like an auto winner, right? That's like an unhidden rule. Anytime Nintendo shows Zelda, boom, win, right? But then also Metro Prime 4 and most of the games the games that they do show are actual exclusives to their platform. But there's a few multi-plats that they did show from third party, which is third party. But all the stuff Nintendo showed that's their stuff, that's theirs. They keep it. Like you ain't seeing Metroid or Zelda or any of their other first party titles anywhere else, not even on PC, right? And some people feel because of the whole combination of the multiplats, actual true exclusives to the definition, plus 2 primetime hitters of Metro Prime 4 and a new Zelda. People are saying that, hey, overall, and also when Nintendo shows their games, they come out in a timely manner. People still wondering if even with the Xbox showcase, the games that has dates, so far we've seen Microsoft has delay games with almost all there. They rarely ever hold on to their dates. Like that's just not a thing for them. So they constantly shift dates all the time, right? So there's potential a lot of these games will be shifted, right? And then there's some people that are like, listen, showcase was good, but they showed stuff that's like, hey, a lot of those games were promised 4 years ago. And they're still promising it, right? So that combination is leading to people to say, hey, I feel, Nintendo actually won this stuff. And that got people upset, like you got some Xbox dudes, in their fields, like let's say right here. We'll start with Infinite Umbra, right? So Genki, right? Right, and he supports Xbox, right? He wants Xbox to do better in Japan. He's one of those like 5 people in Japan that like Xbox, right? He's like one of the 5, right? Like in Japan that actually enjoys Xbox and wants Xbox to have more influence in Japan, right? But he said Nintendo wins, not E3 2024. So pretty much the showcase, and he gave his thing. Xbox had a great show too. He admits Xbox had a great show too, but the lack of Japanese games apart from MGS Delta and Trailers with no date brought it down a bit for me personally. So he said, personally, right? Now, why is this, this good Japanese man, he has a code, man. He's an honorable dude. Why Infinite Umbra attacked this man? Man, he said, this is revisionist history, Genki. Xbox is the new E3 and their showcase outdid everyone else for a fact, right? And my man's, of course, now they're running to IGN, right? Okay. And people are like, yo, you know, it's almost as if Genki's just giving his opinion. He goes, yeah, a biased one, which is why I'm calling it out. It's almost as if you lack comprehension. Like, whoa. You know, Infinite Umber goes on this tirade and people are like, bro, you know, he's just one dude. He's just one dude giving his opinion on why he prefers and stuff like that, right? So what's up with the animosity? Hey yo, what's going on? I know J-Dub. You know what? I'm glad you're here, J-Dub, because you know how many times Xbox dudes try to use Nintendo show to say they were better than PlayStation when their show is garbage. What's going on here? What's happening?
Listen, Xbox trying to get a win by any means. It's not enough to just have a good showcase for Xbox. These dudes want to take down Nintendo and Sony showcases. And they don't want any competition. And let's face it, Xbox is dead. It's been dead. It's gone. The console war is over. But these guys, for whatever reason, man, they still want to rumble with the big dogs. Even with Phil Spencer and Tim Stewart, Brad Smith or whatever, in Satya Nadella, even as they give up fighting with Sony and Nintendo, these bots still want to hold the line. It's like, dude, Xbox had a great showcase. Take it for what it is. But the mere fact that all of those games are coming to PlayStation and Nintendo, you might want to, you know, be a little bit humble. Nintendo had a great showcase, you know, for what they do. Exclusive games for their platform. You know, why not say, you know, kudos Nintendo. Xbox, we have a great show. You had a great show. Salute to that. But nah, these bots, man, and this is why I do what I do. This is why I poke fun at them, and I never take my boot off their neck, because as soon as you do it, these guys try to get ahead, and they deserve everything they get. All the joking and the taunting, the memes, they deserve every bit of it.
You know,
and that's why we should keep it going.
I say, you know, because then you might have a majority of people that feel the Xbox showcase. In my mind, I think the majority feel the Xbox showcase was better, but you do still have a significant people that prefer the Nintendo showcase, and I would say a lot of them are Nintendo centric guys, and that's gonna happen, right? That's naturally gonna happen. Like, you're not gonna convince the Switch fan base that the Xbox showcase is better. They're just not. They play on Switch, so like a lot of them don't really care about that stuff, right? In
the grand scheme of things, Puerto Rock, there's only a handful of people who actually have an Xbox. You know, compared to Nintendo.
Exactly. Technically, yeah.
Yeah, so like, dude, why are you gonna try to act like, you know, I don't know, these dudes, man, these dudes just crack me up, man. They attack everybody except the people who they should be attacking. Like Phil Spencer, Aaron Greenberg, Satya Nadella. Those are the people they should be attacking.
Yeah. And what's you make up a good point, because technically speaking, a lot of multiplats was shown on Xbox Showcase. And the multiplats, when they're available, there's more people on other platforms than within the Xbox console. So like PC has a big audience, PlayStation has a big audience. Like Xbox, you could say is a niche audience out of everybody. It's a niche product now. Like, you could actually consider it. Yeah, it's a niche product now. It's not a mainstream. The brand name is mainstream in terms of people knowing about it, but in terms of people buying it, it's really lagging behind worse than ever, right? I think it's only at this point. I think at this point it's only doing better than the OG Xbox is doing, and that was a brand new new product that was competing against the PS2 at its peak. You know, so obviously OG Xbox had challenges, but at this point, this Xbox can only say that it's outdoing the OG Xbox, which is pretty sad and stuff, right? Right? Judge, my brother. Is he around?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm here.
What do you think about this, my brother? Like, are you Like how you reading the temperature of the room, right? You had two legit showcases. I know on PlayStation side or fanboys definitely they're trying to throw in the state of play, but that's not a showcase. That ain't nothing, right? That shouldn't even be a conversation piece, right? The actual showcases was Xbox and Nintendo, and there's like a little movement saying that Nintendo came up with the best showcase and stuff like that, right? And some of these Xbox dudes are salty for people having this opinion. For a few people having this opinion, they salty. And it's got to be all or nothing with these cats. What do you think about that, my brother?
Man, I think they are bipolar. That's what I really think about it. Number one, as far as comparing the two showcases between Nintendo and Xbox, what's crazy? If I didn't see those tweets, this would have been the only nice thing I would have said about Xbox during this podcast today. But fuck that. I'm not going to say anything nice now because objectively, from my perspective, they did have the better showcase. I saw Nintendo's, and if it really just come, and again, I just base things based on. I judge things based on, I judge these showcases based on what games they showed, and objectively, from my perspective, Xbox had the better showcase just because they had more games that interest me. I saw Nintendo's, and it's like, to tell you the truth, I was more interested in Mario and Luigi Brotherhood or whatever it was because of I couldn't figure out if it was a sequel to Super Mario RPG or if it's it's this whole new thing. I was more interested in that because I was trying to figure out, well, hey, what the hell is this? I may want to get this for my Switch. Secondly, as far as Metroid, I was never a big fan of Metroid, so I'm neither here or there with Metroid. And as far as Zelda, to me that looked like a combination of Minecraft and Dragon Quest Heroes. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if that Link's Wisdom or Zelda's Wisdom, if that was like a spin-off Zelda game. To me, if people are saying that, hey, Nintendo killed it because of Zelda, man, it's like, in what world? I mean, what's the threshold? What, Zelda? Because it's a Zelda game? Fuck out of here. The hell with that. I don't buy it. But as far as, going back to these Xbox guys, just needing to have a win and having a W, I think J-Dub, I can't really add any more to what he said. It's like, hey, man, you guys had a good showcase. Take that win, and that's that. Because when it comes down to the main point of things, and I'll be happy to more to elaborate this once we get into the second subject or into the next subject. As far as a lot of games aren't coming to Xbox. It's like, man, just take your fucking W and smile about it, man. Have a fucking cookie and smile about it and go on. The war is over. I mean, why are you guys still? It's the Xbox guys. It really is. It's I don't know what more to say besides to say you guys had the better you guys had the better showcase. That's it. Now fuck off and find something else because of I mean it comes back to the same thing that I said before. Just because Xbox is doing bad doesn't mean that everybody else has to do bad or has to be dragged down because Xbox is in the fucking in the grave. And it's as far as I'm concerned, man, the Xbox as a whole is just is the Walking Dead. I mean, I never saw something. I can't call it a phoenix, but it's like I never saw a company, or excuse me, I never saw a game system do so badly, whereas it just wasn't just buried and call it a day. Whereas every Xbox is everything but that, but they have a good showcase. It's like I can't say the word I'm really thinking of, but it's really ridiculous, and that's the R word I'm gonna use. It hurts my mind to even really think about it.
All right. Okay.
Yo, Poro, you got time?
Oh, we got time. We got nothing but time.
Oh, we got time?
We got time. We got time today.
Well, I got time today.
Oh, you got time today? Oh, the floor is yours.
I got time today. Yo, thank you. Listen.
You got the fresh haircut? Listen. Oh, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. Listen. First of all, bro, what the fuck are these Nintendo guys talking about? You got a better showcase. That thing was a ball fest. I looked at that thing and I was like, shit, do I have to go through this? I didn't even finish it. I got to Zelda and I was like, oh, I see what you're talking about. But everything else before that, maybe if you are fucking 7 years old and under, what the fuck? Like, wait, you really think you can step up? Boy, they can't even step up to the state of play. Like, I'll take the state of play over that thing. That thing was ridiculously awful. Are you kidding? Who are these men children that we're talking to that are like, oh, we had the better showcase? Then who? Again, why? Because you got Zelda? Hey, listen, Zelda, great game. It gives you a 1 out of 10. Okay? And then they talked about Metro Prime. I didn't even make it to Metro Prime. I was so bored. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm not getting paid for this. I realized I like my life. Seriously, I was watching it and I was like, wait, I like myself. Why am I doing this? And then I thought to myself, wait, am I making money from this? No. Do I care about this? No. Is this fun or entertaining? No. I was looking at this cringy shit on this piece of shit handheld that are still somehow popping up. Hey, you know what? Good job. You came up with game mechanics. Okay? Great. Fantastic. Echo ability looks fun. Okay? This would be something really great if I ever have the misfortune of having a child. I'll give it to them. First thing. First game they'll ever love. Okay? But for everybody else, okay? For adults, are you joking? This is the better showcase? Better than who? Who? I'm taking shit better than this showcase. What the fuck? Honestly, I have seen paint dry, and that was more entertaining than that Nintendo showcase. That thing was a 1 out of 10. Okay, they had one game that was interesting. Oh, and by the way, can we just talk a little bit about remakes and remasters? Are we good now? Are we good with remakes and remasters now? Are we good now? Are we good now? Because these motherfuckers, as bored as I was, I couldn't help but notice that at least 4 or 5 of these motherfucking turds were turds from the past. So can we be good now? Can we be good now with remakes and remasters? It's only bad. Because Nintendo,
it's only bad when PlayStation has it. Only PlayStation remakes are bad.
We all know that Nintendo is the holy saint, the holy patron of the gaming industry. Whatever they do, that is the right way to do it. So now that they brought out an entire showcase propped up by remakes and remasters, can we be good? Can I have my Horizon Zero Dawn remake without issue?
No.
Can I be good now?
Unless Nintendo makes it. Nintendo's gonna make it.
Listen, hey, you know what? They're already making Horizon games. They may as well. As long as they can make Horizon Zero Dawn remake, they're making Horizon Zero Dawn remake. Hey, if they put it on Switch, can I have it? Because I'm good with that trade. I am good with that trade. If they put Horizon Zero Dawn day and date on the Switch 2 or the Switch 1, shit, anything. And you know what? They don't even have to put it on PS4. I will make no complaints. Just give it to me. Give it to me. Can we be good now? So, okay. Finally, no, sorry, not done. I said I got time.
Keep going. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. You Xbox, you get no support for me because for the longest time you've been saying, "Oh, what matters is the gameplay. Games should be fun. What does it matter what they look like?" Well, Nintendo games look like dog shit, but they look like they're fun. So you know what? In that way, I guess they're better than your showcase. I guess. I don't know.
So you're using their own logic against them.
Yeah. I'm just like, wait, what do you want me to say? That echo ability looks like anything. It looks funner than South of Midnight. I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? I too would like to stack beds even more than I would like to play South of Midnight. Great, fantastic. So I guess from a fun factor perspective, they had the best showcase ever. Yeah, they had returning greats like all of those remasters and remakes, and all of those have fun gameplay mechanics. They have this echo ability, never been done in a game before, at least not to this extent. Looks like a fun ability. They just came off the bat of Breath of the Wild? The other thing, Zelda Fall from the Clouds, whatever the fuck it was called. What was it? What was the last Legend of Zelda game that just came out? Tears of the Kingdom. There we go. That had lots of fun mechanics. And since again everybody's about remasters and remakes now, we're all going to assume that you're going to pile up that backlog because once again it's about the backlog and the backwards compatibility and all of these things. So you know what? Blast from the past. You get to come back. I guess they had a better showcase. We'll give it to them from a fun factor perspective. You know, that Mario and Luigi brothership, that looked fun. The name is dumb. The graphics are terrible. but it looks fun, you know. So it's just like by your own Xbox logic. I think this is why they're acting so hurt, because they know they are the ones that kind of unleash this monster. They always run over to Nintendo, right? They always run over to Nintendo to be able to say, "Oh, PlayStation, you were nothing. Nintendo saw more than you. Nintendo did more than you. Nintendo first party this. Nintendo first party that. You guys are popping up these.
Nintendo won the console war.
Bro, I don't even know what it is with like
Lego.
Nintendo fans.
They're saying no. This is Xbox gamers saying that.
No, but Nintendo fans, with the fact that their games are never interesting to any adult, but somehow we all have to pretend that they are part of the conversation. I don't know how that happened. I don't know why we let it happen for so long. Okay, the way that we do not talk about mobile is the way that we should not talk about Nintendo. Like they are just so they are for them. You know, those people over there. Like, like what's that? You know, that meme. Like, like what is this? But no. Nintendo fans have been propped up by both PC and Xbox fans for the longest. So they get to walk around here like they've got a suit and tie on. And like, dude, you're like a 7-year-old child in your boxer in your mom's apartment. Like, this is who I see playing this. But you know what? Nintendo games are for children. After that showcase, can we just accept that?
He said, you know what? I'm you about to.
I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? How are we talking about Nintendo games, bro? How? You've got it on screen, right? Look at that shit. Look at that shit.
I'm agreeing with you. Like,
Look
this
at
is
that
for
shit.
me. Like, this is like a kid's game, bro.
Whoa! And then when you say Nintendo games are for children, they want to get upset. I'm like, bro, how are you upset? How?
I mean, an adult can enjoy this, right? Like a Lego game.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, you can be a child at heart.
I mean,
but
yeah,
you're not gonna
I
pretend
get it.
that this
like Astrobot.
like,
you
like
can
adults.
enjoy some Astrobot.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm like,
you can like Astrobot. Yeah, 100%. But I wouldn't say an Astrobot is like, I don't know, better than I don't know what's like Diablo 4 or God of War. Yeah, exactly. Like games for adults.
I ain't gonna
like,
put.
Jesus Christ.
I wouldn't put Astrobot toe to toe with Horizon or Demon Souls remake or God of War or anything like that. Like this. Like this is for me. Like I agree with you.
You know what this is?
I didn't even see the Nintendo showcase. I'll never see the Nintendo showcase. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. All I see, I won't. I won't watch a Nintendo showcase because most of the games aren't for me because of that reason. I just wait until they post it bits by bits on Twitter or the actual trailer. Like when I look at this and everybody's like, "Oh, Zelda's back," and I'm like, "All right." And then I saw this, I'm like, what the? I'm like, you might as well have made Lego Zelda. I'm like, bro, you might as well.
Whoa. Like, so you have two children like camps fighting with each other, and it's like you're both idiots. This Xbox guys, this is something that you guys set yourself up for. So I'm not gonna stand for you. But no, Nintendo didn't have the better showcase. Not even close. Again, that thing wasn't just bad. It was dull. It was boring. I will use it as like what's that what is it? What's that drug that they put on like chloroform or something like in films that would put it over? Because that shit will knock you out in 5 seconds of watching this thing.
So this is my thing. This is my biggest thing. Like because I grew up when Nintendo was at the forefront of cutting edge technology, right? They had like the best looking games, or at least competed for the best looking games. Like they were always pushing game forward, the gameplay, the graphics, environments. Like they were top dog. But ever since the Wii came out, they just dropped back and said, "Nah, we're not doing this power narrative shit." They went with the pure fun, angle, whatever. Yeah. And that might be fun for stuff, right? But like, let's wait till we get to this scene. Watch, I want to show you this scene. Like this scene, like okay, so you see right now she's approaching, right? And she's about to overlook at a hill. Now, normally, like a PlayStation game, when they do this, you see like the most advanced graphical showpieces. What the fuck you showing me this for? This is not impressive. You just like this is something like you build in dreams yourself. Like that's like that. What is that background like? Oh, like what are you showing me? That's not impressive. That whole landscape is not impressive. That's like people can build that in Roblox now. Right? Like this could be built like in Roblox.
It looks like indie games.
Yes, this is not impressive. Like what's the point? Yeah, what's the point of widescreening this whole kingdom? Like that's nothing impressive. Like again, people now build better looking stuff on Roblox or Dreams and stuff. So it's like You see what I'm saying? And that's like the thing with me with Nintendo now. Nintendo's so far behind that I don't bash it or anything because I understand there's still audience that loves it, whatever, cool. But don't ever put this next to a PlayStation first party and stuff like that or AAA games. Like, come on, look at this, man.
And this
like,
is why, this is why I say,
bro. Stop.
This is exactly why I say
you're out your mind. Like it's like
Nintendo is a handheld. They're competing in a totally different lane as PlayStation. So it doesn't matter how many they sell or what. It's a whole different product.
That's exactly why
we got
to see them the way we see mobile games.
Yeah.
Like nobody goes says what is it? Raid Shadow Legends is going to go up against like Monster Hunter Rise. Like no one says those things. Or like Clash of Clans versus like a Civilization game or one of those types of games. Like nobody says those things. Yeah. But no, we've got to pretend that Nintendo is part of the conversation because these fuck niggas on Xbox have been popping them up for the longest. So now it's like, oh yeah, you've been using them for like 10 years.
The barons of the world.
The barons of the world. It's Juneteenth.
And I could appreciate, you know, people saying, oh, this looks fun. That's cool, but you could say that about anything. You could say that towards anything, any product, any game, of any stuff, fun, which is obviously right? For the person. But, you know, the effort that it takes to make these big AAA PlayStation first party games, and then you got this, which I guarantee you could replicate this game in dreams and shit. Like, not, you know, it's like, come on now, come on now.
Yo, Porto, imagine if PlayStation did this. You know how these idiots always saying like, hey, PlayStation, you need to do different type of games, do double games, do indie games. Imagine if they came up and they showed us this, bro. The way they would be laughed out of the room, they wouldn't even release it. They'll just be too embarrassed the way we would laugh at them, bro. Why? Why are we pretending?
They got nerve enough to talk about shit. To talk shit about Astrobot. That's the shit I'm talking about. You know.
Yeah, you even see me like I don't see much about Astro. I'm not even gonna get Astrobot. I'm gonna be like whatever. But that's like one out of how many games that PlayStation makes. That's not like the reoccurring game. That's not like the main reoccurring theme and stuff like that. But like.
Yo, Porok, I'm not done, okay? Because one last thing about this dumb Zelda game, is that it is a regression. How is it that you came up with Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Tears of the Kingdom, and then you want to put out this shit, and then people are like, "Oh, this is it. This is it." I'm like, wait, did you not just
sell that shit for $70?
You just played the previous game, but you're gonna pretend that this is great, like, and I'm sorry, but this echo ability is one cool ability. Tears of the Kingdom had like 3 or 5. Great abilities. So this is a regression in every way. It's a regression in graphics. It's a regression in gameplay. And you know what? I don't care about this DEI stuff. Playing as a woman. Why am I playing as a blonde? Okay? I don't want to play as one of them. I cannot connect with a blonde woman. Same energy. I don't care about this false diversity. Okay? So why am I playing? Like, who is Zelda? Who is Zelda? The whole time I thought Link was Zelda. Huh?
No,
this whole time.
This guy's trolling. That's a troll. Where's Zelda at? What happened to Zelda? How come we're playing like this chick? Oh, that's the biggest troll. That's the biggest troll on Twitter.
Exactly.
No, why am I playing as a princess? What happened to Zelda?
What girl's it?
Oh, that's just funny.
Who is this person? Who is this person? Okay, listen.
Oh, man.
I don't want to play. I don't want to play as this female character. Like, what's a female anyway? Okay. First of all, why I'm black? I should get somebody that looks like me. I want to make my own character. Okay, that's what I want to do. You know, that's exactly what I want. So I'm just letting you guys know. Like, this is a regression in every way. And if I'm gonna play as a blonde, I'd rather be the blonde man that I'm used to playing as. I don't want to play as this woman out of nowhere. She's never been a part of my games. I never completed any other Legend of Zelda game before, so I never met her. I never got to the end. So it is what it is.
So like this was Metroid Prime 4 got shown, right? And I'm like, I'm so on the
another woman. Isn't this another blonde woman? False inclusivity.
Savage. But with this one though, I remember the day Metroid Prime, the first one on GameCube, was announced, and it was like a showpiece. Oh my god, the graphics, the gameplay, like wow! I remember that day when they first unveiled it. I'm like, oh my god, it was just something that's wild at its time. So then when I saw this, I'm like, man, this is some shit I could see on my PS3, bro. Like, God, you guys fell off so far behind. Because I remember Metroid Prime 1 and 2, bro, you cannot say nothing to that game. It was ahead of its time. The graphics was fantastic. It was the best showpieces of that generation and stuff. One of the top games on game rankings, you know, which at the time was the Metacritic of the time and stuff. Yo, like, it was like a 90, high 98 or some shit, 94. You know, oh man, it was ridiculous. That game was just mind-blowing, you know, graphically. One of the best showpieces on GameCube and one of the best looking games, period, of that generation, right? And then I see this Metroid Prime 4, I'm like, man, I probably could run this on my iPhone. I'm like, fuck. Like Nintendo just straight up don't give a fuck about technology, man.
They lost it.
And some people are saying, "Oh, this looks like the Switch 2." I'm like, "Oh my god, I hope not."
Oh my god, if this is the Switch 2, oh, I am going hard on Nintendo. Some people,
guys. Like, I hope they're wrong. I hope it's not. I hope it is not.
Don't do it to yourself.
Don't. This is the Switch. This is not the Switch 2 graphics. Please don't let this be the Switch 2 graphics. Oh my god, this will be terrible. This would be absolutely terrible, like, bro, like, and that's why, like, I didn't even bother with Nintendo, man. The Nintendo's so far off, like, it just feels like I just grew out of Nintendo completely, and it's just that's why I don't really mess with them at all, because they just keep showing me they just don't want to, you know, get back to who they were, you know. And good for them. This is the most profitable they ever been, because they make these games that I guarantee aren't big budget, and they sell them for $60. Oh man, I can't wait to see the Switch 2 prices. I guarantee those games are going to be $70. I guarantee it. I guarantee they're going to sell those games $70, right? But they're not going to do any of the next generation, or not even next generation, current gen shit. They're not going to do, you know, performance modes, you know what I'm saying? They're not going to do any type of trickery to get to 4K and stuff like that. Maybe if they get DLSS stuff like that, but I guarantee it's going to be like, you know, the PS4 Pro's way of approaching 4K. You know what I mean? Like early generation 4K, you know, that's what they're going to do. So they're going to try to keep the game budget as low as possible so they can maximize profit, that $70 profit, bro. You know, and that shit's ridiculous. That's what they're going to do, and they will work. They will sell tons of copy on low production games for $70. And that's why I'm like, I don't know, bro. That shit was just like that. That's why I didn't just like your stream says. It's just
all of those games could run on the PlayStation Portable, the original PSP. Like, shit. Honestly,
that's just on the Vita.
2006 level
that
shit.
shit could run on the Vita.
No, Vita is too powerful. Vita is too powerful. Original PSP. Like, honestly, what the fuck are we doing here? What exactly? We could upscale it to 1080p on the Vita. Let me tell you, man, what are we doing here? Like, you look at that game and I'm just like, are you guys serious? Like, again, it feels like beating down on children, because this is made for children. Like, what are we talking about? What?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here, this Nintendo showcase. By the way, half of the people that are popping it up, I bet you didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch it. I didn't waste my time. Like, get out of here. A Nintendo showcase, I'm like, yeah.
Get out of here.
They're going to show that Tinky Winky. All right, let's move on to the next topic. Let me do the
I'd rather watch the PC game show.
I better, you know, yeah. Shout out to Stuart Stokes. Stuart Stokes with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much for rocking out with us, Stuart. Stuart says, I just heard Post Up say he's 9 hours in Hellblade 2, still on chapter 2, and he's hyping cloud save so he can continue on the next Xbox. Why can't bots just play games? That's insane. There's no way he put in 9 hours in chapter 2. Like, oh man, I don't think he even beat the first one. To be honest,
I wish I can say he was lying, but I was over there with Next Gen 720 when Post came on the show and said it, and you know,
that's embarrassing, bro. Like, stop embarrassing yourself. There's way too many people.
It's not embarrassing.
It is,
because you know why?
There's way too many people that beat the game between 6 and 9 hours.
Nah, he's among his peers. Matter of fact, the stats show that 90% of the people didn't even complete the game, and the game can be completed as soon as like 4 hours and 10 minutes. It's a 6-hour game.
Oh, man.
But why is it taking you 9 and 12 hours to get, you know, But that's what I said. He's among his peers. That's the Xbox community.
He's just wasting electricity, leaving that Xbox on and not playing it. That's just a waste of energy, man. Like when you start when you're not playing your Xbox, you're supposed to at a minimum put it on standby. You're not supposed to just leave it paused and let it run. That's just a waste of electricity, man. And then you want to complain to the kids that the bill's too high. It's you, Dad. It's your ass. You ain't playing that damn Xbox. Oh man, no man. Let's move on to the next topic, man. Xbox skip. That's what I heard the next Xbox was going to be called, because there's a lot of games skip in that skip. You know what I'm saying? Oh man.
Before you move on, before you go, we have Guess Who in the waiting room.
Oh, we do we? Oh, okay. Hold on. Thank you for letting me know.
Probably Baron. Come in and talk about the Tinky Winky.
Okay, is it Baron? No, Baron could get up in here. Hold on. Let me see. Okay. Oh, I think this is Ghost. Hold on. Mic check.
Yeah, I'm in here.
Ghost, what's going on?
Not Ghost. Ghost left.
Is that Ghost? Ghost left. Okay.
It's the truth.
Oh shit, the truth. What's up?
Yeah, the man-child has arrived.
All right. Oh shit. Hold on. You know, I forgot.
The man-child has arrived.
When you left, I forgot to give you the podcast rights, and I wasn't able to do it. I'm like, all right, when he comes back. But what's going on, my brother?
Nah, the man-child has arrived, as Emmanuel said.
Oh shit, the man-child has
arrived. This whole time I've been agreeing. I was on mute. Yeah, you have. Go ahead, talk your shit.
Oh, you know what happened now?
Oh nah, he was jumping off on the Nintendo stuff. He was like, "Oh, only children can like this stuff." You know, you had to try to bring him down a little bit. You try to bring him down a little bit. So I said, you know, let me jump in here so the man-child can arrive.
You're gonna let him know he wrong? That shit's popping?
I didn't care about the Zelda. I didn't care nothing about no Zelda, but all them JRPGs, you know what I'm saying, was fire for me. So, and I don't really care about graphics or nothing like that. If you go down my trophy list, I'm playing Dave the Diver right now, and I just beat Dredge. I don't be caring about nothing like that. But for me, I said the Nintendo joint was better just specifically because of all the JRPGs, which is turn-based for me is always going to be number one. I don't care about nothing that man you'll be talking about. I know he has a specific taste, but to call somebody, to say somebody got to be a child to like Nintendo is crazy to me. Now, I can agree if y'all feel like the graphics ain't up there, if they charge too much, all that, yeah, that's fine. But you ain't got to be a child to like Nintendo. I still fucks with Nintendo to this day. Oh, my bad. I ain't mean to
But it is for children, though, right?
Oh, shit.
Is it for children? No, it's for whoever wants it.
It's a bit like Dora the Explorer. You can watch Dora the Explorer and enjoy it as an adult, but it is for children, though, right? Like Sesame Street,
yeah, it's marketed
you can enjoy it as an adult, but it is for children, though, right?
Yeah, it's marketed towards children, correct.
So Nintendo games are for children, right?
No.
Yes.
No, Nintendo never says nothing about what did they market it as. We ain't talking about your opinion. What did they market it as?
There's literally a quote out there from Nintendo executives saying that their games are for children. So I want
to say their games are for families,
but for mostly children, right? Like that's who they are targeted at. They are made for children. They have storylines that cater to children. They have maturity levels that can be met by children, right?
Okay. And their maturity and the lines can still be met for adults.
And you know what? Again, adults can enjoy Dora the Explorer. Adults can enjoy Sesame Street. Adults can enjoy whatever the fuck those kids watch nowadays.
Exactly.
Right? But we're not going to pretend that those things are made for adults. Right?
No.
Yeah.
It's marketed towards children, and anybody can watch it. So.
And it's made for children, but adults can choose to partake in it. That still makes it for children. Like, I can go on the playground right now. I could go to a playground right now. I could swing on the swings, go on the monkey bars and everything, but everything is child-sized. You know, I have to accommodate my body to fit it. You know, it's the same thing you have to do in Nintendo games. You have to accommodate your maturity level. You understand that. For example, Legend of Zelda.
I think you've been in a park in a while.
This bitch is always been what is it? kidnapped or her kingdom is stolen. Like, I would hate to live in that kingdom.
I don't care about Zelda. I was talking about the Japanese RPG.
No. But let me just use.
I said that when I came in.
But we all understand that we're not going to talk about trauma, or PTSD, or like she never gets, let's say, assaulted in a real way, right? Because all of those things are mature themes, and none of those things belong in that game. Because again,
she never got assaulted.
Yeah, this dude.
No, she never.
This dude wants Zelda to get assaulted. Oh snap! One sick.
She got. Didn't she get smacked in like the sky joint?
He wants them to suffer PTSD. Oh my god! That is evil.
I mean, hold on, wait. Since you said that, wait.
But no, I get what you're saying.
Didn't Zelda get smacked? Didn't Zelda get smacked in the Skyward Sword? Or no, the little thing. When Ganondorf at the very end of that joint smacked the holy piss out of her.
Wow, we're really gonna go there. Okay, sure. Did she get slapped in the ass? No, because again,
you talking about she doesn't have one. You said assault. Now we going to the S. Okay, whatever.
Hey, I said mature things.
Look, I answered his question. Then he take it a level higher. He keep trying to raise the stakes. I answered your question, correct? You said she didn't get assaulted. I explained the time she did get assaulted.
No. She got kidnapped already. We all know that she gets magically trapped in prisons. And
no. I said the boat one. She gets smacked. Clearly in her face.
No, you know what? She spent 1,000 years in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild by herself, okay? Solitary confinement.
I'm not argue Zelda. I don't care about Zelda.
No traumatic, no psychological. Like, this bitch just walked out of those 1,000 years. She was like, yes, thank you, Link, for saving me. Just wait another 3 years until something else goes to shit. And then she just kept on rolling. Because in the world of Nintendo, mature things do not happen. So again, all of these things is because we accommodate for which part of the population. We never have to think about how Pokemon is actually slavery. Children.
All right, see,
we can move on. Yeah, we can move on.
This is what Extreme wants to see. So in this, let's replace Ellie with Zelda, and we'll replace Joel with Link. So if they want to show the new Zelda, this is what he wanted to see. He wants to see some shit like this. He wanted to see Zelda walk in, one of Ganondorf's troops come in, Zelda fighting. All of a sudden they pin her down. You know what I'm saying? They got on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And Link is about to get bashed in with a golf club. You know what I'm saying? He wants to see pain. He wants to see trauma in these games. He don't want to see fun. He wants to see trauma. This is what he wants to see.
Because I'm an adult.
He wants adults. Yeah. He wants to see Link get his ass whooped, and Zelda's just right there suffering, like straight. Man, my internet is suffering. That's who's suffering right now. That's who's feeling pain right now. What the hell is going on here?
How come you can never YouTube things?
I don't know. It has to be something. But when I go on this, like, this is ridiculous. Like, I gotta show it.
So you can be on YouTube, but you can't actually use YouTube.
I can't actually use YouTube, right? It's like trying to run a game on Xbox Series S at 120 frames. I gotta bring it down to 300p and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But this is the stuff that Extreme's talking about. We want to see Zelda in pain, bro. Get them angry. Like this. You're never gonna see this from Nintendo. You are not gonna see them do this, boy. You're not gonna see a diesel ass chick just whack and whack and whack, and then like 5 chapters later, she's getting doggy styled. You're not gonna see that on Nintendo. You're not gonna get that from that platform. That platform is that no Nintendo. That's not gonna happen, bro. They're not built for that. You know what I'm saying?
Correct, 100%. But not every adult needs to see that either.
Hey, listen.
None of adults don't care about none of that.
Listen.
One is Sesame Street.
8 billion people on the planet. Trust me, is a bunch of people that don't care about that.
Yeah. One's PG-13. One's Sesame Street. The other's Skinamax. That's all 100%. We're saying. That's all we're saying.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm sorry for calling men children. Okay, I can understand how that can be seen as derogatory, but we're not going to pretend that these games can be seen.
Not is, but can be seen.
No. Listen. It's my own matter of perspective.
I don't think man-children can ever be considered like a positive compliment. I don't think that word is ever used.
You know what?
Fashion.
My apologies to all you Nintendo whatever the fucks. Okay, children at hearts. Okay, there you go. Can we make peace with that?
They just want fun. They just want fun.
You know,
they just want fun.
You know, exactly.
All the RPGs coming to PlayStation, so I'm good.
Make fun great again.
Okay. You know what? You keep talking about these JRPGs. Which ones? The other ones made for children?
No. Yeah. I don't know.
What ones we talking about made for children?
I don't know. It's kind of scary.
All of them.
RPGs. You swear they're made for children, then you be like, whoa, this is kind of close. This is some pedo, like y'all entering pedo territory with this one.
Yeah,
like,
wow. That's wild.
Like, whoa. So some of these Japanese developers, I'd be like, man, they be like skirting that line. You know what I mean?
They know they
know how to skirt that line. They skirt that line. Like,
they know the audience are weirdos.
Yeah, they skirt that line, you know what I'm saying? But all right.
Okay, so I called you men children, he called you weirdos. Which one is worse, really? You know what I'm saying? You know?
I don't know. But let me ask my boy the truth. What do you think about the situation? You know, these Xbox gamers are a bit tiffy about people that are people considering saying that Nintendo had the best showcase, and they are livid that there are people with that opinion.
It's normal. When ain't they mad?
Oh shit!
I was literally working on a video to try to get the Xbox fans to realize they started it. Like, this all comes from really the PlayStation 3. And you was in them trenches, you and J-Dub back then. I wasn't around for that. I came around for PlayStation 4.
Not for the 3. For the 4, I was. Not the 3. The 3, I was
on the sidelines. You know when Z was calling it the PlayStation the Indies?
Yeah. That was early 4. Yeah, that was PlayStation 4. Yeah, Tropico 5 Godzilla.
Yeah, so I feel like remember, because when the 360 era, they were saying PlayStation ain't had no games, making music videos, and you know what I'm saying?
That was funny.
And so when they came back around, it's just that Xbox never helped them get back on top, and they are still praying for it, and it's just normal. So them being mad about everything is just gonna be how it is. Right. They're gonna take every victory and make it, and do superior victory laps that nobody else can do.
Yeah, it's just crazy. They get mad that there's some people that feel Nintendo's better. But one, they got to understand, like J-Dub said, there's hardly anybody on an Xbox console. There's a lot more people playing Nintendo Switch than there are Xbox. A lot more. So you're going to get, once you show Zelda, especially Metro Prime 4, they've been waiting for that game for 4 years. And now that they've seen it, they automatically going to choose their own brand for the games that they want to play versus Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Especially when the games Xbox shown, the Nintendo guys are looking at it as, I don't need an Xbox to play most of the shit they shown. I could play this on my PC, or I could play this on my PlayStation, or hell, you might put this on the Switch too. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of Nintendo gamers, they don't see the Xbox showcase as anything great, and that's just pissing off Xbox dudes. Man, these guys get really pissed off when it comes to the corporation. Man, they're so defensive. So defensive over their corporation. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, well, Xbox did say in that email, what Phil say, evangelize his fan base. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he done that.
That's straight cold.
They'll evangelize it. That's what he said.
Yeah, he did a good job of it.
They are, and they do.
He did a fantastic job. All right, so now, can we go back the next topic? Xbox skip. You know what I'm saying? So apparently there's a bunch of games that primarily, and I just had it up, hold on a minute. Damn. That are not coming to Xbox, especially the new Marvel versus Capcom collectors. Let's see if I have it. Where I have it. Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Yeah, so this sucker right here, Marvel Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics 2024. It has been announced for PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, and Steam. And then also, besides this, Square Enix announced another game, but it's not going to Xbox either.
I got a list of games that they made on Twitter showing there's quite a few.
You want to put in a DM, but it's quite a lot.
Yep.
It's quite a lot. It's a lot, right? Now, let me see if I could find a video. Where's it at?
I'll put it in this chat right here. How about that?
Okay, yeah.
Can you see it in this chat right here?
Did you put in the
In the Discord, in our Discord right here.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, I have to go out. Hold on.
Okay.
Back out.
Yeah, it was by Zuby Tech. He did a list.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I know where that's at on his thing. I know where to get that at. So besides that, but there's one video I want to get real quick. Nick, I think, was the one that I apologize for not having it ready. But I think Nick was the one that had it. But so it was talking about just how some developers here it is, got it. Nice. Well, Nick reposted James Act, right? So I'm gonna push it up on the screen right now. And then I'll let everybody get to listen to it.
Edmund, a member of
We'll start over. Here we go.
But how much are developers sacrificing in order to prop up that model? I don't know the answers to that, right? Interestingly, Edmund, a member of my team, he reached out to about a dozen game makers to ask them, like, how are you feeling about publishing your games on Xbox? And one of the things that came back from a few of those developers was the idea that it's not worth putting your game, and they're smaller game makers, by the way, AA and indie. And they're like, it's not worth putting your game on Xbox unless you have a Game Pass deal. Because Xbox consumers are essentially conditioned now to expect their games on Game Pass. So if you're going to port your game to Xbox and expect to make your money back from sales alone, it's probably not going to happen. It's not worth it. The ones that Edmund spoke to, that's what came back. Interestingly, if you're interested to read that whole thing, that's on the Patreon right now. I'm not spooking the Patreon. It's free to everyone, by the way. It's not behind a paywall, so just go and grab it if you like. But really fascinating insight about how Game Pass has shaped consumer behavior specific to the Xbox platform, to the point where developers don't want to port a game unless they get that Game Pass deal to lock in their revenue.
So let me dovetail on that, and I think we all had these conversations multiple times in one form or another. But we've been saying that Microsoft have nurtured a Game Pass culture, and a lot of gamers will adopt to that. We already seeing now lately, as the final last stand battle for console warring, now Xbox gamers are pocket watching. They're saying, oh yeah, it's going to PlayStation, but you have to pay $70. We get to play day one on Game Pass, right? So when you have this console fan base, even and let's say they got Game Pass, a lot of them are not going to buy games no more, because there's no, unless it's one of those big AAA games like Grand Theft Auto 6 or something like that, right? Maybe Assassin's Creed, those type of games. Majority of the games, they're just going to be like, if it's not day one on Game Pass, it'll probably eventually get there. They have plenty to play on Game Pass, especially now that Microsoft's adding Call of Duty and other big titles. For some of them, they're like, listen, if Call of Duty could go on Game Pass, then there's no excuse for this AA game or indie not to go on Game, right? So these AA and indie developers, they're looking at their title. No one's really going to buy our game because one is not on Game Pass.
Yep.
Why are you going to pay $50, $60, $70 for our game when you could just play a big AAA game that Microsoft's providing through deals or whatever on Game Pass? So now you already shortchanged the sales right off the bat, right? There's going to be very few little people, right? So we've been telling these people this stuff, right? That Game Pass going to condition, and it's like, whatever. I mean, if you're cool with Game Pass, that's cool. Be cool with Game Pass, but accept the repercussions for supporting Game Pass. This is going to happen more often. More often than not, the AA's and the indies will eventually not be on your platform unless that developer makes a deal with Game Pass. And you cannot be mad at that because there's not enough people buying your games. Like, the few people that you have decided we're not buying games. So now it's even a smaller portion. So your whole entire console platform is niche right from the get-go. Now that portion already decided, hey, I'm just fine with Game Pass. Lots of games are going to come. I don't need to buy games no more. I don't need to spend money when I got all this stuff. So now even a fraction of this smaller, it's not going to support, game sales and stuff like that, right? So J-Dub, man, what do you got to say?
I mean, this isn't the first game. This isn't the first set of games. This is common sense. What happened is these guys have been lying to themselves, acting like Game Pass was sustainable and Game Pass was any and everything, and We just had a conversation earlier about, post up, play the game that was in Game Pass. Hellblade 2 supposed to be the game of the generation, and he didn't beat it, and 90% of the people didn't that downloaded the game didn't beat it. What's the sense? If they're not going to play it, they're not going to beat them, they're not going to support the games, they're damn sure not going to buy them. If you're a developer, why go that route? Why don't you cater to Nintendo and PlayStation and PC, which have a much, much larger install base that do buy games, that do support their platform? We just said earlier, Xbox is super niche. There's only like 22 million, 23 million Xboxes sold out in the wild for this gen. It's less than what they did last generation, which on record was the worst generation ever. So technically, this is Xbox's worst generation ever, as it stands right now. Why would a developer even look to even do anything with Xbox? Even their own first-party studios are having issues and delaying games, and have to wait 6 months, a year to provide performance modes and stuff like that. So imagine third party. They don't have time for that shit. They're just going to skip them. And Square Enix said that they were going to start, open their platform up and do the multi-plat thing, and the bots were out there screaming and parading. But Square Enix, obviously, they didn't mean Xbox. They meant Nintendo, because Nintendo and PC, because clearly Square Enix is still making games that are going on Nintendo, going on PlayStation, going on PC, but they're skipping the Xbox. So Xbox doesn't win in any of this scenario.
Good point.
And it's going to get worse. And mark my words, they better hope and pray, but there's a huge possibility that Grand Theft Auto 6 may not launch on Xbox, especially if they have these development issues like this. It's gonna launch at a later date, just like Wukong, Black Myth Wukong, just like
but Rockstar is their premier devs. That motherfucker. Like, remember, and I see what you're saying.
That's not Xbox's. That's not Xbox's. They have a super small install base.
The developers that are having the most problems are the ones that aren't the biggest developers. They're the ones that are having the most problems. Like the big top, like Assassin's Creed, that's day and date on Xbox. You see what I'm saying? Battlefield was day and date. Jedi was day and date. Like the big developers with the big money, it's always like the Wukong or that other, Dead Space knockoff. Right? Or even Larian Studio, like Baldur's Gate, right? But Larian Studio is a smaller studio. It's always a smaller studios trying to make big games that have the biggest problems with Xbox. But like the super big, like the super big studios, they have the, and the reason why I say they have the money to do it.
Yeah. Explain Starfield. Explain Redfall. Explain Microsoft's own first party IP. Delaying features and delaying everything else because of that, right? So I know we can blame third party and say that they're small or X, Y, and Z, but what I'm saying is I find it hard to blame third party when Microsoft's own first party.
I'm not saying I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying the big third party publishers don't delay their games on Xbox. They come out day and date. So like Rockstar is the biggest out of all of them. So they'll probably be the ones to show Xbox how to truly make a game on their own Xbox. They'll probably show them out. They'll probably outclass them. They'll be like, "Yo, this is how you do it." You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
but think about it. Name a big third party game from like the big publishers of Ubisoft, EA, even Capcom and stuff like that that made day and date. Like, a lot of them didn't have an issue with day and date on Xbox. Especially EA, Ubisoft. Even Activision, Call of Duty, before the purchase, Activision was making their games day and date and stuff like that. They never had a problem. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Rockstar is going to have a problem.
It's just a new. So
I don't think Rockstar's got a problem
with develop skipping Xbox. Is this just a new thing that's going to happen, or is it? This is the future. I mean, it's not just one or two games.
They can't make. Yeah, I think the rest of the gen's probably even going to get worse, right? Because they're probably doing a cost benefit analysis, and they're like, it's just not worth putting this game on Xbox because no one's really going to buy it, right? So sometimes the porting cost is just not worth it. Just make the game. I mean, there's more than enough platforms between Switch, PS4, PS5, and PC. And the Xbox gamers, let's just have them enjoy their Game Pass, right? I think this will put more focus on Xbox, making sure they don't repeat this mistake again. So not to do this 2 console strategy with different hardware. That was always been a stupid thing. That's always been a stupid thing. That was just dumb.
They're talking about
if
coming
people
out with a
can't
handheld
admit
now.
that the Xbox Series S was a mistake, I don't know. It just blows my mind.
But think about it, Porter Rock. They're coming out with more hardware. Apparently, they're coming out with a handheld, right? Where is that going to fit in the ecosystem?
I don't
You still
know.
got the 80% of the fan base bought a Series S, not an X.
No.
So, let's say even if they do last another generation, they make more hardware. I just don't see where Xbox fits in anything.
I got to see. Their hardware strategy is going to be interesting what they do forward. The only thing I could see is their hardware strategy is more PC centric, like pre-built PCs, but make it look like a console, but it's actually a PC. You know what I mean?
Then people would just go and buy. Why not just go buy a PC?
But that's their way out. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like a Trojan horse. Like, hey, buy this console, but you didn't really buy a console. You bought a PC.
Yeah.
You know, and now Microsoft be like, time to dip. You know what I'm saying? We got our console gamers onto PC. We out. Enjoy this. I mean, it's just strange and stuff like that.
You remember those Steam machines?
Yeah, like that. Something like that. I think that's what they're gonna try to do. They're gonna try to do these nice custom PC builds, but slap the name Xbox on it. Just to make a thing, you know, and I would imagine they'll probably try to do like a UI that's very console centric, but it's still Windows. You know what I'm saying? Today, he says Post Up still hasn't passed the title screen. Oh shit. Oh damn, Post Up, man, beat this game already. Damn, it ain't that long, bro. Like, stop it. Stop capping, Post. JD Gamer. As for so-called developers keeping Xbox and being trained to not buy games, these no-name developers don't top a named developer, Hypercharge, and celebrating sales on Xbox. I mean, yeah, but Hypercharge got like 20,000 sales. When I saw his tweet, like, yeah, we reached 20,000, I'm like, all right, if that's his expectation, cool, right? But let's say like Marvel, right? Their fighting collection, I'm pretty sure they want more than 20,000 sales for their games. I'm pretty sure Capcom has and we're not talking these no-name developers. This is Capcom and Square Enix that are also skipping Xbox. So you can't call Capcom no-name developers or whatever. And you can't, and someone mentioned in chat the significant thing about this fighting collection, that it contains Marvel vs. Capcom 2, which you can't buy no more. I mean, sure, you could get on PC through emulation, but actually purchasing it, I think somebody mentioned in the chat that the last time the game was available was 2013. After that, they took it off stores, and you haven't seen it since, right? So trying to find that game is very challenging. So the fact that this collection has Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is a big deal for them. JD Gamer with another super chat. He says, yo, J-Dub, stop with the FUD and stop pulling numbers out of your neither region. 28.53 million Xbox Series sold. Lies. 28 million lies. Them lying eyes. Oh man, you need to. I need to see your source. Cite your source. Cite your source. Lies. Man. I'll probably give Xbox maybe 24. I mean, like, listen. Matt Piscatella said, and this is US, the biggest region for Xbox. They are now lagging behind Xbox 360. That's how far. Xbox 360, right? They're lagging, in the US. They are now lagging behind. Like, obviously in the beginning, there was a sharp spike. Xbox Series was a little ahead of Xbox One, but then over time, the sales just dropped dramatically. That now, at a certain point, Xbox One maintained its lead, right? Aligned, obviously when you align them. And now, Xbox Series console sales has lagged so far behind that is behind 360. Right now, time aligned, it's only ahead of the OG Xbox here in the US. That shit's crazy. That's bad. That is bad when you're only ahead, time aligned with the OG Xbox. And OG Xbox was brand new
right now. It's fighting with the Wii U right now.
Like, yo, it's bad. It's bad, right?
It's fighting with the Wii U right about now.
Stop that, JD. Don't do this. JD, don't ever argue console sales with Xbox. That's a losing battle. That's an automatic L. We try that and stuff like that. All right. Let's go to the judge, man. What do you think about that, man? About game skipping Xbox, double A's, single A's. Do you ever think maybe some triple A's would ever get to that point where somebody be like, man, it's just not worth porting a AAA game to this platform?
Yeah, I mean, let's. I'm gonna go in reverse chronological order with last gen. Isn't the Xbox fan base still waiting for Final Fantasy VII remake to come there?
Oh shit! Good point.
You know,
point.
so
Good point.
It's that, and two, you know, J Dub, brought up the Wii U. Let's talk about the Wii U for a second. I remember when the Wii U came out. It was a big deal that at the time Assassin's Creed 3 was actually being made for it because of a lot of third-party developers, which would include Square Enix and Capcom, but more so Capcom than anybody else. They weren't supporting Nintendo, and I wonder why they weren't supporting supporting the Wii U at that time. It's because they had very poor fucking sales. So it's that. Let's go back to Gen 7 with the 360 in the PlayStation 3 at the beginning of the generation. I remember when at one point in time the PlayStation 3 wasn't getting a lot of third party support because its sales were really bad. It wasn't until it was doing really well that third party started getting there. I remember what was it? Mass Effect. Mass Effect was the first Mass Effect was exclusive to the Xbox 360 until the PlayStation 3 started doing well. Let's go back to Gen 6 with the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. Wow. You couldn't get Tekken on Xbox. You couldn't, Grand Theft Auto, well, that was timed exclusive, Grand Theft San Andreas and Grand Theft Auto 3. There was a lot of third parties you couldn't get. Third party games you couldn't get that actually made it exclusive to the PlayStation 2 that you couldn't get on Xbox 360. That's the Gen 6. You know what? But my point is this, because I think I pulled out enough evidence and going in reverse chronological order. And to me, and this is where, putting exclusives, everywhere doesn't make any sense. Game consoles is based on fucking capitalism. Excuse my language, but this is a really good subject that you brought up. And this really, captures the whole entire point of this. If my game system isn't doing well, why the hell, as a third party developer, should Capcom or Square Enix or Ubisoft, hell, even with Madden, with EA, with Madden, they totally skipped the Dreamcast, and that's going back to Gen 5 because of all the fuck ups that Sega did. But unfortunately, Dreamcast didn't get Madden.
Well, that was a different scenario, though. That's a different scenario. That was them being spiteful. That was EA being spiteful.
Yeah.
That's different. That wasn't a sales thing. That was, in fact, so just to clarify, so that way people know, EA wanted to build Sega's network, right? And if they would allow them to, no, not that. That was a different thing. EA wanted to be Sega's only, football thing. They didn't want them to do 2K, right? But Sega's like, nah, we still gonna go for the NFL license. See, this was when EA tried to monopolize it in the beginning. But it said, nah, we got the NFL license too, so we're going to make the game. So EA's like, all right, since you want to make your own football game, you can't have ours. And PlayStation didn't have a football game anymore. So that's ultimately how that ended up. It was more of the fact that EA didn't want Sega to keep making 2K NFL. So
right.
That's for that one, yeah.
Right. But the point that I'm making is that unless a game, unless there's a good, install base or a good, base to sell to, you're losing money. And, then we just hear, within the past couple of weeks, not even a month ago, that Square Enix is bombing because of, they lost a lot of revenue because they weren't putting their games on Xbox. So because in PlayStation isn't strong enough, or PlayStation 5 wasn't strong enough to support it. So it's like, well, which one is it? Well, if they put their games on the Xbox, I would assume that they will actually really lose money as opposed to just putting it on the PlayStation 5 or just leaving it on the PlayStation 5 or just or the Switch. It really boggles my mind because some of these arguments that I hear, it's like hey man, some of this shit is the norm. I mean, going back to the regular Nintendo games. I mean, excuse me, the original NES days. There were a lot of third-party games on there that the Sega Master System just did not have. Same thing, even to a certain extent with the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. There were certain games on there. Matter of fact, there were a lot of RPGs. Matter of fact, Square RPGs that just was not on the that just wasn't on the Sega on any Sega system. Even with the you know what? No, I'm gonna stop right there. It's just stupid, and to me, it's like it's capitalism. Which one do you want? Do we want competition in games, or do we want socialism in games? I mean, which one is it? I mean, it can't be both ways. And then I'm gonna go to my last point. As far as Xbox not getting games, like the way how you hear people talk about Xbox, it's like I never saw this before, but Xbox is a division of one of the three richest companies in the world that is worth more than certain countries' GDP, and somehow they are the victim. It boggles my fucking mind as to how that even begins to even make sense, and it's fucking stupid. And as far as games skipping the Xbox, good. It's supposed to. That's the way it's supposed to work. Fuck the Xbox. Fuck the Xbox generation. This generation, they just fucking bombed, and they get exactly what they get. And as far as matter of fact, and it's the Xbox community's fault because of it's more onus on a subscription than there is on actually buying games. If you don't buy games, then games don't come to your system. It's supply and demand, point blank, period. And that's all I gotta say on that.
Okay, all right, okay. Let's go with the truth. Is he there? Uh-oh. Truth? Nope. Oh.
My bad.
All right, on that one. All right.
I was had to do something real quick.
Right. So what do you think about Xbox skip?
I mean, it is what it is. This been normal for a while, right? I mean, Baldur's Gate, you know what I'm saying? So this ain't nothing new. Xbox did it to themselves, and I don't think they really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why they bought Activision. I think that's why they bought ZeniMax. So that if them coming into this situation really ain't gonna matter in the long term. I mean, like y'all said, I really do think they gonna try to move everybody over to PC. And once they do that, then the skipping stuff still not gonna matter, because I really do think they're gonna have like a little Steam side app type thing going on. Everybody keeps saying it's not a thing. I'm pretty sure it's very possible that they can make that happen. And if they can do that, then all the games that's technically being skipped now ain't gonna matter in the long run. So I think they got a plan, whether it takes effect or not, because they're not very good at this gaming stuff. It's up in the air. But this ain't nothing new to anybody here. So the understanding is the understanding. We know that Game Pass is a problem. We know I would just say this: Game Pass ain't a problem because Microsoft is their parent company. It's only going to be a problem when Microsoft, decides it's a problem, which they're already kind of on that boat. But when as long as they're not fully on the boat, then it's not a problem. It's sustainable as long as Microsoft wanted to be sustainable, and we see that starting to come to an end too. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, Extreme. What you think?
According to Phil Spencer.
Well, they doubled down. They put a lot of games. They're putting a lot of games on Game Pass. So there's one of those like you're going down with the ship. Like they're gonna keep doing it until it either works or until it fails. But I don't think they're backing down from Game Pass. They don't have a choice, to be honest. They have to keep going.
But they don't have to
succeed, or
they don't have to. They got PlayStation and Nintendo. They got PlayStation and Nintendo that's going to fill in that gap. Yeah. They're going to make all that money from Nintendo, all that money from PlayStation. They'll, until they just decide to stop losing money on Xbox hardware that nobody buys, they'll just finally get out of there. But yeah.
Okay. Extreme, what you think about this?
Yo, hey, can we talk about Lightning? The reason is Lightning, exactly. Lightning always seeks the path of least resistance.
Okay.
And I think that Lightning is a pretty good, kind of analogy for the path of consumer behavior, right? Like if you've got like a grassy field, right? let's say it's flat ground, and people want to get from destination A to B, most people are going to walk straight, as they can, from destination A to destination B. And I feel like that's what Game Pass is. Game Pass is a path of least resistance. People want to play a game, and with Game Pass, they have a really easy path, right, to get to that game. So of course, people are going to start walking that way. And then, as time goes on, and Game Pass becomes the path to more and more destinations, people are going to start preferring Game Pass like a highway, right? People are going to start using it as a main artery to get to wherever they want to go. Eventually, people are going to become so accustomed to walking this particular path that everything else will seem kind of silly by comparison, like going out of the way for nothing. So, you know what? I fully understand why Xbox gamers will become so accustomed to Game Pass that they will start saying things like, oh, if this game isn't on Game Pass, I'm just going to wait until it gets there. A little bit like if a particular word that you liked, right, that you love to use, a highway that was nice and quiet and comfortable, beautiful and scenic, yeah, maybe it's a tall road, but whatever. You know that eventually it's going to connect to that place that you want to go to. But they'll tell you, hey, listen, there's also another way that you could go. But that way has traffic lights and people and cyclists. Oh, disgusting, right? So you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to wait until my toll road company creates a connection over there. Okay? A little bit like people that love to fly Emirates. There's some people that are so loyal to like an airline that they would literally just fly that airline. And if that airline doesn't go to a particular destination, they're not going to that destination, and then the day that that airline connects to that destination, well, now I can use it because I got my points, I've got my comforts, I've got whatever it is that I want to get in my airline service, and therefore I will go there. So I do not blame the Xbox customers. But one thing that I will say, just a quick little note here, a lot of these, quote unquote non-fanboy podcasts that they have now, they are now discovering this fact now, when people on this side have been saying it for years. And it's like, we all have to pretend that it's brand new information to all of us. Like, listen, Skill Up, he's an Australian. I appreciate the work that he does. I appreciate his reviews. I appreciate his podcasts. But it's like, you're finding this out now? Like, we've been saying this pretty much since Game Pass was announced, that this is going to change the way that consumer behavior, goes, because it wasn't that hard to see. It really wasn't that hard to see. So it's very cute that now they're becoming aware that these have not just been console war topics for ages. Because he's been part of the cohort that keeps saying Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. So it's like, yeah, you want to pretend that you're like the ally of like the indie devs, but you've also been one of the ones that have been promoting this for the longest. Right, there's a little bit of accountability, that he should hold, and he and his podcast members should hold. When you keep saying Game Pass is the best deal in gaming, making it seem like there is going to be no downside to going this way versus the traditional a la carte model. So, in any case, that was just a quick little tangent. So, yeah, listen, Xbox customers are now becoming more and more used to Game Pass, and you know what? So what? America is made of highways. America's cities are designed around highways. America's transport system is really awful if you don't have a car, because it's all about the highways. And you know what you do? You leave and you adapt. You get yourself a car, you get on the highway like everybody else, and you do as the Romans do. Okay? So listen, all of these other indie games, devs and everything, understand this. The Xbox platform is going to not be for you. And you're just going to have to adapt. You're just going to have to market to children on Nintendo and to children at heart on PlayStation, or just make your game for adults and then you can put them on PlayStation and PC and everywhere else. But the Xbox platform is not going to be the thing to prop you up. It's not going to be worth it. And that's fine. That's fine. Either get your Game Pass deal and make sure that is secured, or don't bother with the Xbox port. It is perfectly fine. It is what they do on that side. And the sooner people accept that that is the reality that they're going to live in, the sooner we can stop pretending that somehow Game Pass wasn't going to lead to this anyway. It was inevitable. We've gotten here now. It is what it is.
Okay. I mean, great points. Right? Great points. I think we all agree, and I think we talk about this. It seems like every couple of months, a new epiphany. Maybe because more and more smaller developers, AA developers, single A developers are joining the fray, and as time goes on, they're not seeing the metrics, right? And this is the thing. A lot of people think that a lot of these companies are able to see how these consoles sell, right? And how they do, right? They also get access to MPD, chart track, and all that stuff. So they too are invested on the growth and stuff. And when growth stagnates, as a publisher and developer, you're thinking, man, this thing, whatever they did, they don't have a good momentum and stuff like that. And more often than not, on Xbox, you see a lot of energy behind Game Pass. Like most of the excitement is Game Pass, right? All these games are coming to Game Pass. So if you're a developer or publisher who's making a AA game, whatever, and you're seeing this crowd, you're seeing the energy, you're seeing the data of everybody excited of what Game Pass is offering, unless your game is part of that system, Game Pass, everything's going to overshadow stuff. Bad enough you have AAA games already overshadowing AA games simply due to advertisements and bigger budgets and more well-known IPs backed by bigger publishers. But now you're competing with Game Pass, where people will be like, oh, well, I'm going to pay $60 for this when all of this is available, right? And it's like, man, that's a tough choice. So you're right. They have to adapt to the new Xbox ecosystem, which is, if you want your game to have a chance and be successful, you're going to have to cut a deal with Xbox, which technically plays into their hands, right? And that's really, and the thing that sucks about that is that usually ties to PC Game Pass, where you probably want more Steam sales. So it's like a whole, it's a whole strategy. You have to really think about it and stuff like that, right? But I think ultimately, though, where Xbox gamers gain in one area, which is Game Pass, having all these titles where they can save money, they'll lose in another area where these AA's and indies are less frequent on their platform, right? And over time, it may, every once in a while, I might be like, that's not a big deal. Today is Marvel, today is that game. But sooner or later, you're going to be like, wow, look at all these titles that just are not on Xbox, right? And while each individual title by itself may not be a big deal, but at the end of the gen, when somebody's going to come out with a list of, look at all these games not on Xbox, simply because of the dynamic of Game Pass, people are going to see that list and going to be like, holy shit, I missed out on all these games. And that's just going to be it. All right. Next topic, Shawn Layden. So Shawn Layden did an interview talking about, some of the things that's going wrong in the industry, whatever. And he gave advice on what to do forward, right? Some bullet points is Shawn Layden's advice on making games faster and cheaper. 1, make shorter games. 2, most gamers don't notice the latest tech advancement. Is it worth the investment? So in that point he's trying to make is, if you spend so much time on the latest tech, but people ultimately play this game, or people really notice that? Is that what really is gonna sell the game? 3, try AI tools to do heavy lifting. And 4, be disciplined on what you can deliver. All right. Another thing he noted. What?
Can you put that on the screen so we can read?
All right, I'll put it right now.
As I already forgot half of what you were saying.
So right here. So boom. Thanks to Hunter, those are 4 main bullet points. Make shorter games. Most gamers don't notice the latest tech advancements. Is it worth the investment? Try AI tools to do heavy lifting. Be disciplined on what you can deliver. He also makes notice that a lot of publishers now are not patient with developers in terms of creativity. It's like, feed me success now or we'll forever banish you type attitude, which he thinks is also hurtful to the industry, especially since the industry is a very creative industry when it comes to making these games, right? And that the industry is always falling back on what's already familiar and stuff like that, and less how would you say, less excited on creation new IPs, simply because it doesn't guarantee the success or the level of success they're looking for. So we'll start with you, Extreme. What do you think about that? His advice and his outlook view.
Okay, just a quick thing. Guess who? I think we're getting feedback from your mic. But anyways, back to Shawn Layden. Listen, the very first point there is the most poignant. Make shorter games. And by this, I do not mean that you need to reduce what the narrative or the main path is. But I'm going to put it this way, guys. Okay, it seems like I'm picking on Nintendo today, but that's only because I am. There are too many shrines in Breath of the Wild. There's like 116 of them. Do you know what would have been a great number of shrines? 50. 50 shrines for that world would have been fantastic. I know there are some people that love every single shrine. Oh my god. Some people even know the names of the shrines. Oh, it's great. Remember those 2 shrines where you had to go and solve one and then you have to like jump to the other to read the other puzzle and then you went back? 80% of you just used the guide, boy. Nobody had time for that. Nobody had the time to fling themselves back and forth across the shrines in order to solve the puzzles themselves. There are too many shrines in Breath of the Wild. There are too many. What is it in Horizon Zero Dawn? There are too many side quests. I'm sorry, there are too many side quests. I love Horizon Zero Dawn. And I love Horizon Forbidden West even more. I put 220 hours into Horizon Forbidden West. There are too many side quests. At a certain point, it all starts to mesh a little bit together. I'm sorry, I love Horizon, but it needs to be smaller. Okay, like there's probably like 200 side quests in Horizon or whatever. Do you know what would have been a great number? About 2/3 of that. That would have been about right. You take away even in Ghost of Tsushima, there are too many fox shrines. Do you know what would have been a great number? About 4, maybe 6. That's it. What they should have done more of are the duels, the one-on-one duels. Put more of those. The fox shrines have 4. Exactly. They gave, all of these things where you're doing collectibles. I think I'm going to blame Ubisoft for this because they came up with the 100 feathers. And when they came up with the 100 feathers, I feel like it completely skewed our idea of what is a normal amount of collectibles.
Yeah.
Like, it completely skewed it. So that if anybody had like 60 or something, people were like, well, at least not 100. No, it was too much. 60 is too much. You know what's a great number? Instead of 60, maybe 12. Like let me do it a few times and then it's it because they're not providing anything. It's a bit like the backpacks in Spider-Man. There were too many backpacks. There were too many. Do you want a great number of backpacks? 6. I know that each backpack was like talking to like one era or one movie or one comic book in Spider-Man. Do you know who that's fun for? Nobody.
Comic book guys. Oh, nobody. Damn.
Yeah, nobody. No, I'm sorry, there's no comic book guy that would have loved that. Like, what they would have liked? If you went into a store and periodically you could have bought one of those comic books. Mm-hmm. Just go to the same one store on the same regular avenue, or maybe there's like a subscription that you can sign up for in the game, and then every week or so, they just give you a new comic book, like in your mailbox. That would have been great. You don't have to do anything, but you get all of the comic books that you want. Again, these games need to be shorter, but not in terms of gameplay or narrative. Just especially open world crap. Get rid of it. Let me put it this way. Even Elden Ring, there are too many caves. Skyrim, too many dungeons. There are too many of those things. You know what would be a great number? Again, about 2/3 of them. You don't need to go through yet another dungeon to have yet another sword that you are yet again not going to use because it yet again doesn't have the stats that you want. Like, where are we getting off with this shit? Make the game shorter. Make it smaller. Give people very niche, very specific, enjoyable, but only a few activities. Because let's face it, you have a quantity versus quality kind of continuum, and you can't be hitting both at the same time. Okay? Half of the shrines in Zelda are amazing and they are fun. The other half are dull and boring and easy to solve. Get rid of the dull ones and keep the quality ones. And what you find is that you have about half remaining. And then halve it again, and then release the product with that. So that every single time that a person comes up to a shrine, it's a momentous occasion because they are rare, because you know it's going to be cool, and because you're not going to have to repeat mechanics. So again, make these games, remove the open world fluff. Okay, and can we just talk about how the fact that, for example, you take a look at Red Dead Redemption 2. What do people that really love that game keep saying? Oh, it's the world itself that's interesting. I feel like with all of these gamified elements, the dungeons, the shrines, the puzzles here, the collectibles there, it's like you forget that the world itself was supposed to just be fun. It was supposed to just be fun walking the streets of New York. Okay, and there are too many crimes happening in Spider-Man. I feel like You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, really another bank robbery? Like, why is everybody trusting these banks? Like,
they're always getting robbed.
exactly. I'm just like, why do you have your money in here? Like, sometimes I look at a bank robbery and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch it from the rooftop because this should be a teachable moment. Stop trusting these banks. They're getting broken into all of the time. Why do you have a car? It keeps getting jacked. Like, again, every single game feels like it has to justify itself by putting up meaningless gameplay moments. And it's like, bro, there's only like 6 different crimes that you can commit in New York Spider-Man, right? But they have to put them on repeat so you don't get bored, so that your gamer brain can be satisfied. There are too many tokens. You know those tokens in Spider-Man? Bro, when they're like, oh, go and get another crime token. I'm like, bro, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. You don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. If I had done 3 bank robberies in the totality of my Spider-Man run, it would have been better. It would have been better. If I had maybe 5 collectibles. Okay? Like, I remember in Spider-Man Miles Morales, when I finally finished the game, and then they were like, oh, your father let you tapes all over the city. I'm like, nigga, why? Leave it in the post box. Let me go pick it up. Why did you scatter it all over the place? What? When did you have time? When did you have the fucking time to put it on this rooftop and attach it to that statue and go over there and go over there? I don't want to do it. It took me a year to get the Miles Morales Platinum because I was like, I don't want to go chase after I landed 6 things. I don't want to. Why don't you just put it all in the post box in my fucking attic? Let me go to the attic, pick up the post box, and I can be like, oh, yeah, Dad. Oh, it's cool you thought about Miles and you died and it's very sad and we can have the emotional moment. But she's like, oh, I'm sorry, Migo. Why don't you go over there? Why don't you go over there? Why don't you go to the... No. We don't need all of this fluff. And all of this fluff probably adds 25% to the development cost of the game. So it's like, get rid of it. Okay? Because do you remember all Nvidia games that people keep saying that they want to go back to? They didn't have any of these activities. They didn't have any of this fluff.
Yeah.
You know, so why do we have all of this open world fluff? Far Cry and Ubisoft completely made us believe that this is normal and this is fine, but gamers don't want it.
Yeah, I agree. All right, good points. All right, J-Dub. What about?
Well,
so here's put it back on the screen.
No.
You're driving.
Here's my thing. I agree with Shawn Layden to a point. Sure, you can make some of these games shorter, but here's the thing: if you're gonna make them shorter, then that price better not be $70 because you've already committed.
Agreed.
To $70 for a game, and now you're gonna tell me, yeah, we're gonna make your game shorter. We're gonna cut the time in half, or we're gonna remove a third of your game. No. How about this? How about you give me a full game like I expect for $70? If you're not gonna, and you know these companies, they're not gonna go back on their pricing. They're just not. Now, one way they could do it, they could do like what you said previously, Porter Rock. We had a discussion like Miles Morales, right? That was a good, nice 10, 12-hour game.
It's $50.
Was it? Well, $50, and guess what? Nobody felt like they got gypped or robbed.
Yeah.
Nobody felt like they, cut a bunch of content from it and they tried to be cheap. It was a great game. People bought it. People loved it. It solved the problem. I don't know how long it took them to make that game, but I gotta assume it took about 2.5, 3 years to make that game. So guess what? If that's going to fix the problem that Shawn Layden thinks the industry, then guess what? We're going to go back to $50 games, a bunch of $50 games. And guess what? You make these games every 3 years, and you just keep putting them out or switching it up. Okay, fine. I have no problem with that. But for the price of $70, yes, I'm going to expect my big open world 100-hour game, even if I don't beat the shit, even if I don't care. It's all perceived value. It's hard to tell somebody, yeah, we're going to charge you $70 for this. This one game, 100 hours to beat, right? Big open world game. Now you're going to tell me you're going to cut the game in half or make it linear, make it a fraction, and then charge them the same cost? No, gamers are going to fucking go crazy. They're going to say, nope, you're gypping us. It's the same thing when they talked about going digital. Well, if you do digital, that could lead to X, Y, and Z. That could lead to cost savings. It's like,
Yeah,
okay,
right.
but
Yeah, that did not
that
happen.
wasn't cost savings to gamers. It was cost savings to the company because it cost them nothing to upload a damn software code to the store. It cost them nothing. So we as gamers sacrifice, but the companies get all the benefits. And I'm like, I won't do it. So um, so that there, I'm like, nah, they gotta find some other kind of way with that. The rest of the points, I agree with you. Utilize AI, do what you want. As a gamer, I don't give a fuck how you make this game. I don't care what tools you make the game. I don't care if you crunch or not. None of that shit has nothing to do with me. I just want the game. If you make a great game, I will give you my dollars for it. If you don't make a great game, or if you cut in corners and stuff like that, and I don't perceive it as value, then guess what? I'm not giving you those dollars. Those dollars are going to go to some other company. So listen. It is what it is. That's the cost of gaming. Don't tell me these companies are broke. We just saw Sony's financials. We just saw Microsoft financials. We just saw Nintendo financials. If you look at those profits and if you look at their revenue, it don't look like they're hurting at all. So boo hoo. I don't feel sad for the industry. Boo hoo. They get my $70. I don't cry when I give them $70. So why the fuck who cares? They didn't meet their quota for the quarter. They got 20 billion instead of fucking 25 billion. Well, boo hoo. That's them. That has nothing to do with me.
Okay. That you make some great points on that one, right? I think it's like I think it's a combination, right? Because you're always gonna have those big AAA games, but I think something that Extreme was pointing to, that some things are not gameplay. They just convince gamers.
They just pad out.
That they just padded like find 100 backpacks is gameplay, but you're not really you're just not really doing anything. You're just finding backpacks just to find backpacks and stuff like that, right? Like instead of trying to find 100 backpacks, do something a little bit more quality. Like his comparison of the Fox Shrines versus the duels. If you're gonna add more anything, just add more duels then. That's actually a bit more fun. At least you're fighting and killing vice praying at a shrine. Like, add more gameplay, right? It's a fine line between, collectibles, and some people love collectibles, but sometimes I always felt collectibles are just padding for time in reality, right? Because you have to go all the way over here, all the way over there. And a lot of times you might have to use like a walkthrough guide to even find, especially when you have like 50, 60 things to collect. You're like, where the hell is all this stuff at? And trying to find that stuff, right? So yeah, that's a great point. But I do also agree that they'll cut content, like, okay, we'll cut this, we'll cut that, but then the game will still be $70. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute, right? Because it's true. The industry will not use cost savings to make the games cheaper for us. It's to increase their profits. Right? Yes. It's just like digital. Digital, everybody thought, well, digital will help push cheaper games. No, it will help push more profits, right? And less used game sales. That's what it did. It pushed higher profits and less used game sales for consumer market, right? So that's what it did. But it didn't really do nothing much for us, right? In terms of that. Other than like just the ease of use and access, that you could just download the game. You no longer have to wait for games in the mail or stuff like that. But that's about it. All right. The truth. What about you? What do you think about Shawn Layden's opinion and his views on saving the gaming industry?
I think it makes sense. I understand where J-Dub coming from. I understand where Emmanuel coming from. I understand where all y'all coming from, to be honest. Them 100 collectibles, I think for me wasn't Far Cry. It was Uncharted. Especially because, like, I ain't had no guide and I was trying to platinum it. And I think I missed like one, and then I couldn't figure out which one I missed. It was the absolute worst. I just ended up not being like, I'm not platinum this because I can't even think of which one I did miss. And that's just a headache. So yeah, definitely the whole overuse of collectibles. Granted, I did it for Horizon. I did it for a lot of games that I truly enjoy, but they could definitely tone that down. I truly enjoy Ratchet and Clank, and that was $70, and that was only like 20 hours. I think I platinum in like 25. So that wasn't as bad, but I do agree, Miles Morales pricing was better. You know what I mean? And we had some people in the chat talking about well, if it was on Game Pass, I bet that's hilarious. But that's why I do wait for a lot of these games to come to Plus now. So, some of these games I'm just like, not the big
PlayStation
names.
Game Pass.
Because Dave the Diver, I wanted to play that, and I'm like, man, I'll just see if it come on Plus. You know what I'm saying? But I bought Final Fantasy, Rebirth or whatever. I just do think they can tone it down. Like Emmanuel said, not if they got a full story, not if they got like some gameplay loop that they feel is dope, but all the filler, the fluff, the additives, they could tone down. And I do agree, the companies need to let these developers have a little bit more freedom. I get it. You know what I mean? When giving them too much freedom, you give a creative person too much freedom, they'll come up with nothing for sure. But so you have to have somebody regulate it, but at the same time, they should be able to try different things as well. AI, hey, that's on them. If the game developers is cool with it, they can keep their jobs. Then cool. But yeah, I would like shorter games. I love Miles Morales because it was like 10 hours. I appreciated that way more. It's to me like these games is somewhere between about a good 10 to 20 hours are more beneficial, especially in today's time. So that's it.
Right.
Yo, can I just say one more thing? It's just oh, you got a super chat you want to get?
Okay, we got a super chat. Yeah, let me go get that super chat real quick. JD Gamer, appreciate the super chat again. He said all of the arguments that y'all have against Game Pass are the same ones that people had against Netflix, and we know how that turned out. I'm a fan of history. Which side will this panel be on? Well, I don't. That's I think you just arguments. So that's not our argument because one, Netflix was never a service where you bought stuff. So Netflix was never a service where you bought stuff, and now they're losing support because the people who provide the content are not making money because nobody's buying stuff. So that's a different argument. The argument we're making is Xbox, just like anything else, was a console where you bought games, right? So people, publishers, developers will put their games on Xbox hoping that it will sell and make money off of the purchases. But now because of Game Pass, part of the ecosystem of this console, a lot of the players that would have normally bought stuff have changed their spending habits to now just watching Game Pass. So where does that leave publishers and developers who still rely on a la carte sales? Well, Xbox, little by little, at least for the AA and single A games, are not becoming a great place to sell games at that caliber. So like if you want to sell games on Xbox, you better be a big AAA that everybody recognizes, aka Battlefield, Grand Theft Auto 6, Madden, 2K, stuff like that. But if you're a smaller AA or single A or indie developer, if you want some type of success on Xbox, you got to go to Game Pass. And that's really what the conversation is that. That's pretty much it. That's not the same as Netflix. Netflix was never a la carte service. Netflix was always a rental service. They just expanded it and did a better job, and then they included exclusives and stuff like that. If anything, if you want to compare Xbox to Netflix, they are doing the exact opposite of Netflix. Netflix, they didn't let their games, or not games, but their titles, their shows go anywhere else. Like there was nowhere else for you to watch the Netflix, and Netflix blew up with exclusives. Like once Netflix started doing Orange is the New Black and all these other shows and movies, Stranger Things. Where else can you go? Like where else? Where else were you gonna go to watch Stranger Things? You couldn't even buy it, so they wouldn't even allow you to buy that stuff like a la carte. Like no, you have to be subscribed to Netflix and deal with it. That's it. You have no other choice. So Microsoft's not even doing that. Like Microsoft, like if Microsoft was truly gonna make Game Pass the Netflix of gaming, they would be making Game Pass exclusives to where you can only play on Game Pass, where you can't even buy. and stuff like that. So in other words, you are forced to subscribe if you want to play this content and stuff like that. That's what Netflix did. You want to watch these shows? Subscribe to Netflix. You don't subscribe to Netflix, there is no alternate, if we all watch TV shows, we all win. Netflix did not have that attitude. Like, oh man, we want, to make sure our shows is everywhere. No, there was only one place to go. All right. What you gonna say, Extreme?
Yeah, I was just going to say another thing we need to reduce here. Again, his first point is the most salient. Map sizes. Boy, what is with this competition? You know who had like a great map that everybody was happy with? San Andreas. Now you have GTA 5 coming out with, oh my god, you can fill all of San Andreas within a neighborhood in GTA 5. It's like, okay, great. And there's 100 neighborhoods. What? For what? For whom? Dude, these map sizes, and the thing is, all of this geometry has to be built. People make it seem like they just go into like a AI and then they go, ooh, give me an 80 kilometer by 80 kilometer map. No, all of that has to be built. And when people, try to use, those AI generation tools and everything, people hate them because they're not handcrafted. So you're going to spend, let's say 5 years with 200 developers, just environmental artists and map designers and physics, and I'm just like, bro, can we just go back? Like, who was complaining about map sizes on the PS3? Again, that was San Andreas. Who was playing San Andreas and going, this map is a little small? Nobody. But now, even Far Cry 6, right? Far Cry 6, they'll tell you, oh, well, you remember your Far Cry 3 map? And you're like, yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, Far Cry 6 has 7 times that. And it's like, why? Take a look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Odyssey. What do people keep saying? It's too big. I don't want to be going from one end to another because it takes like 20 minutes of real life time to get through to the other side of this map. Nobody finds that enjoyable. Can we take map sizes back to something reasonable? Again, I love Horizon Forbidden West. I really do. But guess what? The map is kind of big. I certainly don't want Horizon 3 to have an even bigger map than Forbidden West. I certainly don't want that. I don't know anyone who wants that. Does anyone want that? I don't think they do. Yet I feel like these game developers feel that they need to justify the price of the game with how big of a map they can make. And then they feel compelled to fill them with quests. But yet again, we have this problem, this dilemma between quantity and quality. So now you have such a huge map that you need a huge amount of quests in each area, but none of them can link back to the main story because, of course, they cannot. None of them can actually matter because they can't tie to this thing because you can't have really handcrafted quests because your game is just too damn fucking big, bro. So how about we take map sizes and we actually shrink them, And another thing about the collectibles is that this, by the way, we're talking about AAA games. I mentioned Breath of the Wild, I mentioned Horizon, so on and so forth, right? But it also affects indie games. I played Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is a wonderful game until you try to collect everything. There are 60 countries in Sea of Stars. 60! And these motherfuckers are hard to find. So you know what you do? You know what we all do? Because we none of us have the time for this. We all go onto a guide. If I have to open a guide to play your game, something has gone wrong. Because I'm not going to go and look. By the way, Sea of Stars also, the map is too big in that. Hollow Knight, the map is too big. Do you know what has a great map? Hades. Hades has a great map. You get through Hades in 40 minutes. The zones are not too big. They're not too small. They are great. Nobody played Hades and was like, I wish each environment was twice as large as it actually was. Not a single person. Again, you play all of these, even indie games, and the map size are gargantuan. So then they need to fill it with lots of bullshit activities that none of us want to do. And so we played with a guide. Again, one of the isn't it the best, most awarded game ever in history? Elden Ring. Everybody played that with a guide because it was so convoluted. It was so convoluted. that people just don't have the time for this. People don't want to go and be like, oh, do I go over there? No, I'm too high level. Do I go over there? No, I'm too high level. I was actually meant to go over there, but that's only if I go to the back of a broom and I go into the closet, and then over there I bow 5 times, and then it opens a magical portal. Oh, that's the path I'm supposed to take. How the fuck was I meant to find that out naturally? How? No, you can't. Because there are weapons in Elden Ring that if you know where they are, you can get super over level super quickly. But the map is so big and it's so inorganic the way that people play that, again, to make sense of these games, people turn to guides. People literally have the phones or the tablet or the laptop open as they are playing these games because it's just too damn convoluted. So yes, make them shorter. As far as using AI tools, obviously you have to be careful with that because we don't want them to replace the developers themselves. It's a salient point. Exactly, I can understand it. But you know what? Maybe the developers wouldn't need AI tools if you could just make the game smaller. If these maps didn't have to be the actual size of city maps, you know? Like, I'm sorry, like, people are like, oh, we got 80 square kilometers. What the fuck wants to play 80 square kilometers, bro? Oh, by the way, you guys are in miles, but that's a really big number. Like, again, it's just like, it's too big. It's too big.
Okay.
So, anyways, that's my point.
I'm about to say, hey, Rock, you've been to other countries, correct?
Yeah.
We know kilometers. I lived in South Korea. I lived in Germany. Enough places to know. But I got you.
I do it for the chat.
Yeah.
But I will say that.
Yeah, because in military terms, a click is a kilometer. Yeah,
a click
you
is a
guys
kilometer.
been used to it, right? Yeah.
No.
I just wanted to say, definitely understand. I don't think, for me, the map sizes are not an issue. I actually don't trip. And I do know for the people that play the Soulsborne, usually them dudes, they like, to me, it's not all, but a lot of the Soulsborne people are like Madden and Call of Duty people. That's all they really play. So, like, there are people that will find that stuff, and that's how you end up getting those guides, is because them cats, they search every inch and do everything on the map. So there are people that do it, but I do get what you're saying. Majority of regular people ain't got the time for that. I like I said, I'm not gonna search everything. Well, I did in Horizon Forbidden West. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I really enjoyed that game.
Great game.
I enjoyed climbing and getting to places I wasn't supposed to be way ahead.
But can I just ask you one thing?
Can I bring this point up? Because I think this is an important point. Because let's look at it from an overall statistical stuff, right? So the point of making games shorter, Shawn Layden specifically said this: one thing developers should ask themselves is whether bigger really is better. We live in a world where only 32% of gamers actually finish the game, so we're making a lot of game that 68% of the people aren't seeing. Layden explains. So should we continue to build games that are unlikely for the most of the people to even see the end of it? It costs to build to the end. You can tighten that up. If you can make your games on a shorter timeline that will reduce your costs, it will get you to market faster. You can please your customers sooner rather than always telling them to wait 45 years for your next opus. I think we'll just have to re-examine how we present ourselves in our games to the gaming public. So what do you think about that? Because he does make a good point. The majority of gamers don't beat the games, right? Some of the good ones, like the great ones, might reach 50%, right? Yeah. Now, what if you can reduce the games to where more people can actually enjoy majority of the game at a wider scale, right? And the net result is you cut down these 5-6 year games to back down to 3-4 years because you're not making 90 kilometers of area. You're back down to 30 kilometers, and you make 30 kilometers more impactful with more gameplay, less backpacks, less stuff, so that way more people can be like, all right, I can handle this, I can actually play this, and you actually got more people beating games, like more people actually playing most of the work you're doing, because that is something, right? You spend all these hours on this game, and 68% of the people don't even get to see it, then it's like, what the fuck was I working for?
Yeah. No, it's definitely
we all agree with that.
Yeah. So you see a good point. I never looked at it. Imagine you make something and you crunch you all this stuff, and then somebody tells you only 10% of the people beat your game. You're like, fuck. Like, I did all this goddamn work and hardly anyone got to saw and play and enjoy it. Like how can I get people to enjoy more of my game? And sometimes less is better.
Hold on,
Sometimes
take a
it's
look at a game like Elden Ring, right? That have areas within areas within areas within areas, right? You take a magic elevator to this brand new realm that is like 7 areas long. Like, don't just look at it from a game completion perspective. Look at it from each area. Imagine, like you said, you busted your ass making like this area. Let's call it the Vale of Veldale, right? Whatever, right? And only 2% of your players actually get there to see it. And by the time that they get there, they're fucking exhausted. Half of them just go nope and go right back the way they came because they've got to finish the game. Like, we are making these things way, way too long, and again, way too much content. You know, take a look at again Horizon Forbidden West. There are some people that never explore the snowy area. Like, yeah, they go through it because the quest takes them through it, but then they never go back to explore. Oh, what was that village about? What's going on in that particular tribe? They never get to experience these stories again because they're just exhausted and they just want to get to the end. You know, I was playing Sea of Stars and I remember I was like hour 30 and I'm going into a castle and this motherfucker has like 7 levels. Bro, why? Can he have 2? Can I beat all of the base enemies at the bottom and then just get to the top and fight the bad guy? Why do I need to go through 7 different levels of castle? Like, yes, the castle can be 7 stories, yeah, but my game doesn't have to be 7 stories wide. Again, doesn't this motherfucker have an elevator that I can use? Does it have a spiral staircase I can go up instead of having to go level by level and fighting an enemy on every single one of these levels? Having like 15 different battles. I'm like, dude, it's exhausting. And then, you know, they have the audacity to ask you to play the game again. Like, some games are not only big, but in order to get a platinum, they ask you to beat it for a second time. Are you fucking serious?
Yes, or you have to play the game 3-4 times.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and like, whoa.
Well, see,
it's
there's
like
a
Nier
game
Automata.
called,
You know,
Neo
I love
Automata.
Nier Automata,
Nier Automata
but you have to
was
beat it like
ridiculous.
5 times, bro. I'm
Yeah.
just like, what the fuck? You don't have the game here to be able to justify what you're asking of it.
Like, that platinum should be like 10 platinums. If you
Whoa.
took that much time. Yeah. Oh man. I get it. You know, it's interesting. This is where, but like, as I spoke in my other podcast, right? If Sony invested in their studios to take on multiple projects, okay, you have that one studio that's doing like your big AAA project, right? Your big 80-kilometer, 100 backpacks, you know, shoot 1,000 birds and stuff like that. Whatever, right? We'll see. But then your other studios could experiment, right? And be like, all right, we're going to make smaller, like AA games, $50, smaller world, you know, more condensed, right? Maybe a little bit of collectathon, like 10 backpacks, things like that. It's nothing too egregious, right? But make it meaningful for a reason, stuff like that, right? Don't just collect the backpack just to collect it, right? Something that ultimately leads to something meaningful. And then see how that plays out. Because you can have a situation where you have this big AAA game, but then your AA game, more people played and beat it, so you see more people enjoy it. And now you got that and be like, all right, this big AAA game, sure, everybody loved it, but it has like a 38% completion percent, whatever, while this AA game that we have has like a 68% completion. And now you can see what the audience over time is truly wants, right? They may want a nice, in-depth, good game, but not just exaggerated. Oh, I gotta drive all the way to this map to do this one stupid mission, but you added 10 minutes of travel for no reason. And I'll be honest, like you said, those 90-kilometer maps are useless because I use fast travel. I'm not gonna I'm using fast travel. So I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I'm fast traveling. At any opportunity I could fast travel or get on a ride and just coast right through it. Yeah. I'm done. That's just how it is. I'm not going to enjoy all this stuff, right? Very few people do. So it's true. Like, when you make a map like that, who are you making it for? Even if there is somebody that enjoys it, is that juice worth the squeeze? You know, would you? Is it better to cater to the 10 people that just want to play a game quickly versus the one player that will, wow, look at the landscape, and they just stay there for hours enjoying it? Like, you know, especially if that industry is saying, oh, we're in trouble, we need money, then make sure the games, to me, if you reduce, like you say, if you reduce the map size, you probably could put more, how would you say, more meaningful stuff in the map. Like now, like you have 90 kilometers of map and half the buildings can't even walk in. They're like useless. It's just there. Like you can't do nothing in these buildings. Like I'd rather have a nice, really tiny, compacted map, but everything is accessible.
Yeah, everything interactive.
Yeah, you can go inside the apartments. You can fight traps. You get ambushed. You know, all weird shit. Like who knows? Who knows why each door? Like who knows why each door is behind? Right, that you have to search and hunt. But a smaller map, but more meaningful. You know, scenery that actually is interactive and actually means something instead of just long stretch of mountains. That's just all right. You know, it's just nothing, right?
I mean, take a look at Yakuza, right? Like I don't enjoy those games, but people always talk about how tight and compact the map is, but so dense with activities, right? And it's it's like I don't know, it's like 400 meters by 400 meters. Like you can run from one side of the map to the other in like 5 seconds,
easily.
You know, and people love it. Yes. You know, because again, it's like everything here. I can walk into every store exactly. You know, so I'm just like I don't need it to be that small. But I'm just like, bro, again, look at what people are saying about this. They enjoy this map size. So you don't need to be going and trying to outcompete like Horizon tries to outdo, like Death Stranding, you know? Love Death Stranding. And in Death Stranding, the map itself is part of the gameplay because, of course, you're walking it, you're using it. So I think that's one example where you can be there. But again, in Death Stranding, after a while, what do you start doing? You start zipping around because even though they penalize you, for fast traveling, which most games don't, they penalize you because you can't bring any stuff with you. And at a certain point, I can just build that stuff on the other side, bro. I just don't want to be driving for 3 minutes, you know, to the other side. Or in Death Stranding, it's actually again part of the gameplay mechanic. They time you. How quickly can you get from this to that while carrying this load? So you realize you're spending 7 minutes. Go through it. Yeah, exactly. They want you spend 7 minutes going from there to there. And is it fun doing that once or twice? Sure. Is it fun doing it for the platinum? No. Because at a certain point you're just like, bro, I'm making 20 of these goddamn trips. That's a lot of time. That is a lot of time that adds up, you know? Yeah. And again, we can point to so many games. And indie games suffer as well. People always make it seem like it's the big AAA games that do this, and indie games are innocent. They are not innocent. Hollow Knight is too big. It's too goddamn big, you know? And again, I'm not saying shorten the story. I would never say shorten Persona 5 because the story actually dictates the length of the game. It's cool to have Persona 5. Okay, great. It's a 100+ hour game, but the story is just got so many chapters that it gets to that length. No problem. But so many other games are filling us up with unnecessary map sizes, unnecessary activities, unnecessary collectibles, and we are not enjoying it, or unnecessary complexity to the point like Elden Ring, where again 90% of people play Elden Ring with a guide because it's too convoluted. It's too much.
I used a guide for Elden Ring. I was just lost. I was like,
you see,
and I hate. And like, I get the whole I get the whole exploring is an adventure.
Yeah.
But for me, there's only so much to where. Like, I don't want to spend all day fucking just wandering.
Lost.
Lost. Like, that's not fun to me. Yeah. That's not being lost. It's not fun to me. I get a little bit of adventure for me, but at a certain point, I'm wasting time now. And if, so I use the guide. Where do I need to go? Go, do it, beat it, whatever. But I use the guide to help me guide. Because, like, at a certain point, I was like, man, this is, like, way off. It was way too much for me. And I don't like to waste that much time.
Same thing with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, again, the map is too big. I'm sorry, Breath of the Wild, as great as its mechanics are, they do not justify a map size that big. Okay? When they were like Tears of the Kingdom is even bigger, I was like, oh, boy.
Like for me, I'm probably the guy that, like I said, the map size and stuff doesn't bother me. I always do want fast travel, though. Because, like, when I played, like, when Need for Speed Unbound, it was frustrating because like after you race so many times, you just want to be able to get to the next race, and you can fast travel online, but you can't, and it's not even like legit fast travel. You only can fast travel to another garage, then you have to still drive to where you want to go. But when you're playing it by yourself, when I'm just trying to build up my garage by myself on single player, it was like, man, I can't fast travel. Like I didn't mind driving through the city like a good portion at the beginning, but after a while, it's like, dude, I just want to build up my garage, so now I want to get to the races as fast as possible so I can get this money up and get the next car or whatever. It's the same thing. Like I just changed my trophy hunting practices. Like I'm not a super trophy hunter, but I do like getting platinums from time to time. So for me, I just was like, man, look, these games too long, they too big for me. If it got like play the game twice, that's dead. If it has something like collect 500 trophies or collectibles, like Horizon wasn't so bad for me because they just told you where everything was, really. Like, I appreciate that. Like, I'd be like, but like something like Elden Ring, right? I didn't play, I wasn't even interested in, but something like Elden Ring, they don't tell you anything. And I get it for those, again, for the Souls people that like are so, the ones that play like Call of Duty and stuff, where that's the only game they play, they love that. They love it. But for the regular,
can I just say that's what they say online, and then they play with a guide. Like you praising this game,
those games,
not going
like,
you
how
shit.
Can you play this
and
game
then,
without a guide?
And then
like,
then you go use a guide in order to bring back all the shit they should have put in the game. Because that is such hypocrisy. It just pisses me off, man. The hypocrisy that this Elden Ring loves.
So those
regardless of the matter, I'll just say I understand. I think we all on the same page. They definitely need to shorten for sure. Like that's just it just makes more sense. Again, like I said, times keep getting harder for regular people. You know what I'm saying? They don't have as much time, like, you know, to do more free things, spend time with their kids or whatever it is they want to do. So everybody's working more and more and more and more. So like, I just think, shorten these games up, make them, like you said, like Rock said, make it more concise to where like I play Yakuza. I'm not into Yakuza. I love Judgment, which is really the same exact city. It's the same exact city. So Judgment and Lost Judgment, you know what I'm saying? I get the point. Because even Judgment has, for me, had them chases, the chasing down them people. I was like, bro, if I do one more of these them chases was having me frustrated because it's the only thing about the game I didn't like. Because I was like, I'll platinum this, I'll play a new game plus, and then I was like, I got to chase all the people again. And it's like scripted. And you can't just like really catch the person when you're doing proper, you know, doing the mechanics properly. You gotta wait till you get to a certain part of the city. I was like, nah. So I understand. Like, I think we all on the same page with that. I think a lot of people would like shorter games, but I'm with you, Rock. I think they should have their third-party studios do the big grandioso games, because if they went to just all small or medium, then a lot of people would cry about not having the big bombastic stuff. I think they should have a balance of all of it.
Okay. All right. Okay. So that right there wraps up our topics, and stuff like that. Unless you guys got something, I think we can wrap this up. I think we wrapped it up in a good time.
Nah, I'm happy. I'm happy.
All right. Truth, you good? All right.
Yeah, I'm good. You know,
let me get with the last super chat.
I'm saying Nintendo.
Yes. For the man children. Metro Knight, thank you for the super chat. Metro Knight says Sifu. My favorite game this gen was the perfect size. Pause. And stuff like that. All right. You know, stuff like that. Anyway, we're gonna do our outros real quick, right? We'll start off with Extreme.
Yo, guess who mentioned Dave the Diver? I've also been playing Dave the Diver on my PlayStation Portal, by the way. Great game for the Portal. Fantastic game. You guys will love it. Okay, it's fantastic.
I remember you hated the Portal idea.
Man. I hated the Portal, but you know what? Like most people, I play it at home. You know, and I should do take it with me on the go.
I've been waiting for my Portal because I've been playing on my phone remote play. I'll be like wanting to show people my list. I've been playing on remote play all the way since the PlayStation 4, so I've been waiting for a bigger screen.
But okay,
wait, how come you can't get it? Are they sold out?
No, I'm talking about for when it came out. I was saying I was waiting for something with a screen.
Okay.
I was waiting for PlayStation to make something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I was for those that don't know, Dave the Diver uses the controller as well as Astrobot.
Okay.
Like if you play it on your place,
that's a complete lie. That's a complete
lie.
No,
it's not.
That's a complete lie.
That is a complete lie. It's not even close.
Really?
It does use it well. It does use it well, but nowhere near as close as Astrobot. Like Astrobot, you can feel the rain on. Nah. Complete lie. But better than standard games. We'll say that.
Also, like in
don't
between.
trust the Nintendo guy. Like, who are you guys gonna trust?
We ain't gonna argue about it.
He said don't trust. He said don't trust the Nintendo man child. Right? Oh
Jesus Christ! What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do out here? What are we doing
snap.
here? You guys are gonna trust me, okay? But
Don't trust him, man. Didn't he say he don't like rinky dink games?
No, I didn't.
Don't he tell y'all don't? Yeah, he always say I don't do the rinky dink games. If nobody cares about those games, y'all don't even play them.
I said I don't want them from first party. I said I don't want those from first party. And Dave the Diver is not a first party game. So you guys go with God and you enjoy that game.
Man, these guys. just.
That's it.
All right, man. All right. The truth. What's going on, my brother? You said you made a video eventually, so shout out your YouTube channel. Let them know.
Oh, I ain't finished it, man. I'll shout out my YouTube channel when I become consistent.
All right.
I practice here a little bit. If I can get consistent here for about a week or two.
So you like Sony, no showcase. You're just gonna leave us hanging. You're just gonna leave us hanging. You ain't say nothing until it's ready.
I did that one video. The one video I sent to you to see if you like. You was like, yo, that's how I got here. You was
okay.
So.
All right.
Gotta be consistent though. I'm not gonna be consistent.
There's no point advertising your channel, and then you're not ready to provide.
That's why I don't advertise mine.
Okay, you see, because yours is random. Like yours is like the fireside chat is the most random content. Like just one day I just see it. I'm like, oh snap, he made a new video. Oh snap, like these guys, bro, killing us. All right, hey, my friend, my fellow gamers, the only friend in these streets, Puerto77. I hope you enjoyed today's 288th episode, I think. 60 Frames No Lag podcast. Yes, it is. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Everyone, of course, on your way out, hit the like button, and we will see you guys next week, Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, you guys take care. Enjoy the rest of the week. Happy Juneteenth. All right, for those in America, and for everybody else, hey, I hope you enjoy your summer with friends, family, and all that good stuff. You guys take care. We are out of here. See you soon. Peace.
You're